PlayStation PlayStation PlayStation.
What is up, PlayStation Nation? It's the PlayStation Fortnite Cup Finals. I'm your host, at his post, Shio Wager, joined by the Brains, the Brawn, and the Bomb.com, Kelly Link. Kelly, how's it going? What a time to be alive. Tournaments at PlayStation. What a better way to start than with some Fortnite?
I really appreciate you calling out my recent gym progression that I've been making, because that obviously is far more important than anything we're going to be watching today. No, everyone, I am so excited to be here with Shio and watching some incredible PlayStation action for those solo Fortnite competitors. We have already had some pretty exciting qualifiers up until this point, so I'm excited for the finals now, Shio. We got 6 games coming up, but of course, I'm getting ahead of myself, man. We got to talk about the format.
Absolutely. I love dipping my toes in the pool, but let's just dive right in. You talked about the 2 qualifiers into the final event. I announced that we are at the final event. 6 games we're going to be looking at today to check out how these guys are, kind of just ranking up against each other. A full 100-player lobby as well, which will matter as we dive deeper into this format, Kelly. But 6 games over all this time. You're the expert rocking into a lot of this stuff over time in NA. What are we looking at here?
I mean, for the point system, it's a lot going to be focused on eliminations. 3 points per elimination. This is something that we typically see in the solo cash cups. And of course, we got to break down what those placements are for. You have to make it all the way into 50th place to even be able to get on that placement threshold. And then, of course, we're going to be looking towards that victory royale. That is where the chunk of the points are going to be earned. 60 points to be, in fact. And as you can see, once you start reaching kind of that top 4 spot, Shio, that's where really the point differences really matter. So if you're going to make it to the end game, you don't just want to make it to the top 10. You want to get into that top 4 and, of course, the first place spot.
Yeah, that's if you're rich and frying, right? I mean, like, overall, it's just tough for some of these guys coming in having to make top 50. If you are up there consistently, though, what does that mean for you, right? Let's talk about the cash that's up for grabs for a lot of these players that are playing today. In total, $62,500. If you just showed up today, we'll give you $300. You're on your way. But the rest of the people who are in the finals who get up to that 50th place, $750. After that, the biggest jump, you got to climb your way all the way up to 10th for the 1K. 5,000 for first place. I mean, this money's no joke, Kelly.
No, seriously, you want to make it into that top 10. $1,000 for playing 6 games of Fortnite is pretty good. And yes, they've had to fight through the qualifiers. We have some big names here, so it was definitely quite the trek to be able to make it into the finals here today. But just by making it, you're walking away with some money. But $62,000 plus for that total prize pool, that's what I love to see. Everyone has been asking for these console cups. Everyone has been asking for more of like the PlayStation tournaments, and they're bringing it in full force.
Yeah, so many different games to be played today. The focus is Fortnite, though, and I want to focus a little bit over on, the map and what we're talking about when it comes to just Fortnite in general this season. What is the specialty of the season, Kelly? What are we talking about when you have to define Fortnite today?
Ooh, it's all about the gold. It is all about the gold, of course, with the addition of these black markets and the vaults, and of course the new POIs in the map with Season 2. There has just been a lot of gold in the map, and that gold has been utilized in a ton of different ways by, purchasing better items, purchasing keels, and that is definitely something that we are going to be seeing, whether that is these in-game weapons that you wouldn't really be able to get without there being a black market, or I'm guessing there's going to be some like contested POIs throughout the map, especially on these new POIs like we've seen.
Yeah, some of these new POIs coming in. I mean, if you're playing Reload 24/7 inside Fortnite, you're kind of looking at things brand new. I feel like Crime City, we were talking about this, talking about just the map right before the show. Crime City seems to be one of these POIs that has a lot of contention. There's like a train you can get to as well that has medallions on it. I mean, possible choice of like the best POI to land at, but at solos, things got to change, right? Like, it's not easy to manage all that loot.
Yeah, I was actually looking at some of the top players that we had throughout our qualifiers, and I saw Amp, who is currently seated first place out of the qualifying games, and he is landing the Dilbit server room, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a few people fighting for that POI as well, but that is also near Crime City. Of course, if you look at the FNCS, you're going to be watching Peterbot for some suggestions on where you should be landing, and him and his trio land over in Crime City. It's the only POI that has a vault and a black market. If you go just a little bit east, that's where the train's going to be spawning, and just a little bit more northeast of that is the Dilbit server room. However, with one player, I'm guessing they're not going to be able to take all of that, so probably just going to be limited to one of those options.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick and choose at the same time. Pick the wrong choice, someone chooses the same thing as you do, we got to fight on our hands. Again, 100 people inside the server at once. A lot of the times when you look at some of these third-party solo competitions, you might have something coming in, with 80 players in the business. The placement sometimes is nice, giving you all the way up to 60, or even, for a total of all the people playing. Dropping from 100 down to 50 for placement, Kelly, what does that look like? That's kind of insane.
Oh, it's going to be crazy. I'm expecting a lot of early aggression, and actually just watching through the qualifiers, which tend to be a little bit different than the finals competition, there is definitely some players pulling some 20 bombs throughout the games, and I don't know if we're going to be necessarily seeing that today, but with it being a solo competition through the PlayStation format, there's definitely some possibility for some interesting games.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about solos, no matter what season you clock it into, whether it's 5 years ago on the Chapter 2 release or like here today and now, it's watching these end games, right? The high ground situations that happens with solos as well. The cash shows we've been watching recently across, all different consoles and PC, whatever it is alike. But when you focus on PlayStation, some of the historic battles they've had on the high ground inside these games, it's so much fun to watch. These guys still bring that action on the controllers. They got the builds ready to go as well. And we're jumping straight into game number 1.
Game number 1 is underway. As we can see right here, our players are launching into the island. I particularly am looking forward to seeing on our new POIs where people are going to be landing. And some of our bigger names, of course, we have Amp, we got Backtalk, King Cringe, who had an average placement of 2.83 in the qualifiers, which I didn't even realize that average placement was possible, but just starting things off with Foxy Floodgate.
Yeah, I'd love to see some of those replays, see if it was just placement. That was something that was really the players that focused on with the best average placement. Was that was kind of their overall goal in coming things in with, or are we really just kind of pushing things over with the 3 points per elim, trying to get as aggro as possible? That's what we'll figure out today, as we do see style go down across the map somewhere else. Foxy Floodgate, a little bit of a three-way split, but not too much action here and now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that there isn't more action going on right here. Pumped Power quite close by, and A lot of people had some interesting things to say about that POI right before the FNCS, but Yuma landing over here. I don't even know what this POI is called, but I love how nice
Tree
it
Circle
looks.
Soccer Yard?
Can you, for a second, I thought you were legitimately calling it the accurate name. Where's Taco? She's the one that knows all these weird names.
Oh, man. I mean, it feels like a Tree Circle Soccer Yard. I'll lock in with that one, and I feel like Yuma here is going to be possibly forced to fight. When there is a drop like this out of POI, I really like Yuma's position more because you can kind of look at it and see, you know, if you are facing Sindogo yourself, what their loot might look like. You might get a few, you know, pot shots like this. Then you can just rotate out. You got the rest of the map for you. Meanwhile, Sin just has the C, which is like, what do you do there? Sink or swim, right?
Yeah, there is that launch pad right over there, but Sin obviously is not going to have too much of an opportunity with Yuma pressuring him for him to take it. And just a quick shot in the air, and he is down. Don't think that's too much of a surprise, especially when it's Yuma, the one that you're going up against. But Yuma now going to have a pretty easy time just farming this up, but he is going to have to go through the new POIs when he rotates into zones. So some potentially dangerous foes he's going to have to face. But for right now, Drody's just enjoying his time on the dock.
Top left side of the map, is it a bit more mountainous than before?
No.
Is it the same as usual? What
Very
is the top
flat.
left looking like now? It's really flat now.
Yeah,
Whoa.
kind of marshy. There might be some, like what you see right here is like a little bit of a dock that gives you some elevation, but no, pretty flat, all things considered. The mountains actually kind of cut diagonally through the map. You kind of have the southwest area, and then you have the northeast area that are the mountainous zones. And don't get me wrong, we've seen plenty of mountain zones in the last week. PlayStation, I know that you guys can control where those zones pull, so please, if we could avoid that, I'd appreciate that.
Hey, look at the stickiness of the lobby right now as well. 90 players still alive. A lot of the people who have locked in so far might have just lost their match off for it, but you know, I was expecting a bit more aggression from the PlayStation Nation so far. It's just been a little bit more cerebral on all sides. Still over here now. Three-way entire shot fest from what looks like Lone Wolf Lair. You don't usually see people forced into a fight where you're completely at the back of another player as well, but Argue, he does things well. He does a really good position there.
Yeah, Jarky's doing a pretty good job. Lone Wolf Lair, although not a POI that I see contested in the FNCS, as solo competitors, it's definitely something that has a lot more viability to be able to share. There is going to be that vault down below that we can see someone has activated, but it looks like everyone's kind of ignoring it right now, letting the door kind of go on its own pacing. Oh, actually, as I say that, Jarky is going to be trying to push it a little bit. He's going to be blocking things off because he does see that there is still one more player near him, and once that door does open, obviously he doesn't want Sweeksy to get any opportunity to kind of surprise him, because once you do go into that vault, there's only one way out.
Gotta go right back up, and he has no build, so I hope that all the chests and the goodies he finds inside does just top him up completely. That door will still keep going around. Some of the strats a lot of the times is either you loot like JRGU, or you kind of just sit back as Sweeney and wait for someone to come to you with all that loot, take him down. Zany also moving around the map. Not much to be had. Kind of shambolic right now, but
yeah, just completely. I think there's a fight going on right next to him, or Vakey, who got quite low there. Looks like he's just going to be going for the bush strat that we all know and love, and just kind of farming things out right now. The lobby just kind of seems to be feeling themselves out, but now, as I say that, we have a little bit of a fight going on right here. Not doing too much, is building up. Only wood, though. Seeing if he can take some few shots over on the shattered span.
yeah, when it's up to trios and team play, I do see a lot of pushed out diagonal bases going for some surge, trying to get closer to people.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, we actually don't talk about those?
No, I'm joking. Oh, gosh.
You've seen too many of them. That's what it is. Yes. But in solos, it's kind of, you know, you don't have as many mats to exploit. You don't have as many builds to refresh as well, with one person shooting, one person rebuilding. You end up in small spots like this, and yeah, maybe a few shots from Baked Cuh here across the map, but past that, you're kind of stuck now with a roommate you kind of didn't really want, and he doesn't really wash the dishes either, so I'm not sure if you Elite and Baked Cuh is going to make the best duo of sorts here on this hill.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have a lot of space around them, and speaking on that, Baked Cuh seems to be backing off a little bit, so does the player that was near him, but as I say that, we do have a Medimus coming off the bed, though, probably giving a Medimus to the person that's trying to box him up right now.
Hey, sometimes you got to give a little, take a little. Let it. Got the shields up. That's a really big kind of chunk there. It's all good.
That was interesting. I don't think I've ever actually seen that bug, but Bed seems to be safe right now. His opponent backing off. This has to be one of the most passive competitions I've seen, and Obviously, as Storm does activate, that's going to be a different story for a lot of these competitors, but just slow going right now.
Yeah, I went back and watched a little bit when it came to just like, you know, the aggression, kind of the meta game for console way back when they were having their own tournaments again and again. And yeah, this one is a big stacker right now. I mean, again, $62,500 on the line over 6 matches. That's kind of like every match, if you think about it. I mean, I'm not the best at math, but you have like $10,000 of an influence in every match when it comes to your decisions, right?
Ooh.
60K divided by 6. Right. That should be 10. Unless I'm, you know, I gotta go back to school.
No. That I think that math is math.
Yeah. I mean, it's pressure on these players, and the thing is, you can be playing perfectly right now in terms of battle royale standards. In terms of Fortnite rules, I'm pretty sure Surge is still in the building, and that means that the more people are alive than needed in the server, there will be damage done from the skies if you're not fighting. So, a lot of these players playing super passively, not really getting into many fights, they might start to get damaged now, and the server might force this entire lobby to push down to 50 themselves. Is that a Sub-Zero slide?
Yes, that is a Sub-Zero slide.
Let's go. That's sick.
Ooh, all right, fighting game player. Yeah, no, definitely one of the only mobility items in the game. It's something that we saw a little bit. Most people pulling out for the bat, but obviously, if you can't find the bat, these Sub-Zero gloves are pretty good with the slide. Yeah,
that's so sick. Man, imagine box fighting someone and just literally hitting them with like a box fighting move. There's just no way. There's actually no way. I gotta keep casting this game.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see what we got. Crime City, 5-6 people available. There's one person kind of, I think that's Big Wee, who's kind of holding them all the way kind of away from Crime City, but it should be a tough rotate here.
Moving on over to Floated Frogs right now, as we have Shadow No Cap trying to just punish Gordy before he can heal up. See the heal spiking there, but not much going on as far as the fight goes.
A little bit of a tickle, but I don't think his opponent's laughing. Shadow No Cap. Gotta push yourself back. That's all your brick, my friend, as well. I don't know what the game plan is here, but it's time to reinvest in your build economy.
Yeah, just backing off. All these fights, a little bit of engagement, a little bit of tags going in, and then backing off. You know, this kind of looks like the FNCS a little bit, but as that zone finally does close, we're going to be seeing it is a Far East pull. So a lot of our players right here on Floated Frog is going to be having a little bit of a rough time rotating over as we see some players potentially stopping them in their path.
Let's see as we watch more shots get taken from all sides. Kelly, what did we sign up for here? I mean, I was expecting fights on fights on fights, maybe a few soft end games, but this is looking to be a really tough competition.
And I mean, that's to be expected. This is the first time in quite a while that we've seen the PlayStation Cup. A lot of players, now that the FNCS is kind of done, the season's wrapping up, there's probably going to be less tournaments. So these players right now kind of understand that this is potentially the last time that they're going to be able to get some earnings through this season. So they are playing the best that they can, and that's a passive play style. I don't blame them too much for it. Forensic Det 9, though, 1 elimination on the board. It's got some splashes for mobility on top. He's taking the armored truck, actually. I love this little bit of a rotate going on, taking a ride. No one joining for the joyride, though. But if you're going to rotate, why not have an armored car do the rotate for you?
Absolutely. It's so far away from all the action. The decisions I'm seeing being made over here are just so perfect. To give you guys some context as to what's going down, too. These are players who've gone through 2 grueling qualifiers. This is all being done through the entire PlayStation Fortnite tournament system as well. They have seen this action go down day after day, and they are still playing so well. I mean, the level of competition here that PlayStation's curating, it looks so good, Kelly. This is some high tier stuff compared to what we've seen in the past.
Oh, and you know, you can never trust Fortnite players, but if that's actually Byla right there, you know, FNCS title holder Byla, back when Peterbot's first duo made way back when, going up against Backtalk, our second seeded competitor, and you can see him with the drum gun right there that he got over at the black market, going for the aggression, just being able to shred those builds down. Backtalk, unfortunately, not able to get a good angle onto Byla right there. Byla looks like he's going to be able to back off. Can he get the heal, though? Backtalk is not backing, though.
This is a tough one. Third party hit him when he had his safe box finally built. Now, pressured again by that drum gun. Not going to find much. Backtalk has to find a different POV. Stops slowly and then jumps all the way back in. Edited wall, just takes one swing after that. Not your wall again for the third time. Backtalk got to find an angle, and it's metal walls Oh, I have so much time to predict what to do next. He's trying to go for the fake in and out. A nice defensive edit too. He falls to the floor. Byla slinky with it. This guy is slippery. You cannot catch him for free. There's so much going on here in Backtalk's mind. Trying to get inside this box, but now as more people make it closer, his window of opportunity, it is absolutely just sealed shut, and he has to think about the rest of the game.
That zone is slowly starting to close in. But looks like Backtalk not going to back off just yet. Everyone seems to be pausing a little bit in the fight right here.
What's that blessed rock he keeps going back to pray to? What's going on over there?
That's a good question. There's little sprites in the game that you can throw on those guys, and they give you bonuses. But I'm really showing my hand right now. I don't have any idea what he's doing with it.
I like it. I mean, he's getting buffed. That's what matters the most, right? It is a buff is what it looks like, and he's rocking with it. Trying to find as much as he can right now, but again, chasing down Byla, not letting it get away for free. Again, 78 people left alive. He's done some damage before, and he's going to go for it even more so. This is crazy from Backtalk. 3 points on the line, pushing down towards placement as well. Pyramids put down so you can't actually build your own walls for protection. He's really going full aggro on this one, but fight off more than you can chew, and you choke. Backtalk getting just taken down by Byla.
Byla now grabbing the drum gun, taking out the Sentinel pump, gets shot in the face, able to box up real quick, just provide himself some protection while he does get these minis. He's got 9 minis on the board, and look at him. He's just saying it's only a matter of time before I'm able to take you down. Please, with the Sentinel and the drum gun, Byla is not afraid of anyone coming his way, and it looked like Thors could kind of understand that as he backs off, and now we take a look at a new player, Swexy? Sweet, sexy? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that's Swaxy's gonna be rocking in. Let's see what he does.
Ooh,
Little SW.
As you can see, Rift Island has popped over there. We got the Shogun X medallion on the map. Doesn't look like anyone is prioritizing it though. But obviously being up on the Rift Island, you're gonna have a little bit of visibility of the rest of the lobby, and just look how nice and still these arrows are. Good for us to watch and really map out where they are.
Yeah, lots of people to be pushed in from north here back into just the bottom side of Demon's Dojo. Again, these players rocking those 2 qualifiers to get here today. All through PlayStation and Fortnite. Making sure their game 1 goes absolutely all right. Zelo FV up top. Not much action to be found. He is sharing this base a little bit with someone up there, and I don't think he signed up for that. So finally finding Skyjump. Get up there. He's gonna have to keep tabs on that as he waits just to keep moving around the map. Those splashes on his inventory, that's gonna give him speed as well as the unlimited stamina, right? And the splashes help themselves.
Oh yeah, those gold splashes are very nice, especially with a low mobility meta. You're gonna need anything you can to get just a little bit of a speed boost. Cade trying to get a good angle here. Byla, the player that we just watched take down one of the opponents, just slowly making his way over there, but it looks like instead, not going to be engaging, just instead farming up real quick as the zone is going to be popping. And where does that zone go? Suspense is...
The suspense is going to be active for 15 seconds.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's going to lock in for a little bit. That's interesting too. Make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page just so when it actually flips over, everybody's silent as we see what should be one of the most difficult parts of the game.
Oof.
Way north.
That is going to be quite the distance that Droney is going to be moving over there. Stuck in storm right now, but with all these heals, I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern. What's wrong?
I saw we kind of tracked in the game with Vedit, seeing exactly how he's playing, and it was Vedit's body that Droney's drinking from right there. So unfortunately, one of the early stories we were watching is over. But for everyone else, for Cade, these are new chapters in a very hard book to read. He has to just make a crazy rotation perfectly while not burning too many mats.
On having a little bit of brick right here, definitely going to help him make that rotation in case he does have to build. There's not too many players though. It looks like everyone's kind of congested over to the western side of him, and a little bit of a fight going on. Is Cade going to enter the fight with Throlls? And it looks like instead everyone's going to be focusing on rotations, but Throlls right now not too certain about Byla. Byla as well looks like he's going to be staying back in Storm, potentially being the player to do a little bit of damage on Throlls and looking for that final elimination. But nope, looks like everyone's going to be backing off right now. Throlls going for a bit of a wider rotation as he makes his way into zone. Doesn't want to be going up against Byla, and I don't blame him, but hey, a little bit of a bob there. Or I say Bob. His name's Blob, but everyone likes to call him Bob. Get a little bit of extra heals off of that. Byla, though, does see the footsteps and is going to be going on the aggression. Throlls is prepared and ready, though, and it looks like he's going to be backing out. He doesn't want to be going up against Byla, but Box is up instead. Byla going on the other side of him. Gets a great shot in. Throlls, though, not backing off just yet.
This is panic from Throlls right now, not really controlling the piece inside his box too well for the moment, but just escapes after that. Kind of an awkward spot to be in when the ground is halfway through. Up to your neck, you kind of feel like you're already drowning, and then you have the pressure from Byla as well on the back of you. Past that, Noxy going for an entire build drop is what it looks like for the person right above him. Sneaks right into the box and also gets a big spray. What a perfect play from Noxy. Those build chops never usually work out, but those edits that move in there, it's just huge.
Ooh, got the Chug Jug, got some minis in here, got splashes. Look at this loadout, and I'm loving kind of the angle that we have on this mountain right now. He's going to be able to get some great shots on all these players. They're going to have to rotate over. He does have the Rift Island that's in the way of that final zone, or not the final zone, but into the next zone that he's pulling, so that might cause some issues. Speaking of issues, Storm Surge is an issue that we knew was going to be here. Sid is not a player, though, that I thought was going to be facing it going up against Oreo. He's going to have to do just 50 damage with that Sentinel pump. It shouldn't be too hard, but now just trying to pop these bandages, he only has to have a few more players go down. Can he beat out the Storm, though, Shio? That is the question.
So he has to edit, go for a shot at someone who's flying by, but at the same time, he's locked into this animation. He'll have like half a second to make a play. There it is. And yeah, if he spends too long doing something, those bandages, they need to stay wrapping, and sits down. There's 16 more players that need to fall as well before placement starts to get delved out. Storm Surge still active. Swagrix, he's looking fine. He's got a lot of damage dealt down now, and he's still chasing for even more.
Ooh, although flying right in front of Noxy might not have been the best move. I don't know if he was fully aware of who exactly was going to be there. Oh no! And Shogun X is actually still attacking Swagger all the way from Rift Island. That pole can go so far. The aggro reaches so far once you do leave Rift Island. But it looks like Swagger is not going to be going down to the NPC. Instead, he might be going down to some of the players that are around him. Just look how congested the area is, Shio.
Yeah, this is insane. He had 300 damage above just mere moments ago. Now down to 66. I believe the players around him were looking for some of that damage as well. Everyone here affected by the need to perform by the server, need to do damage. It's going to be tough if you're just sitting inside your box. 4 people left now till even the first placement goes out. All of these eliminations you see on the match, every single person that's gone out right now is back to the lobby, has earned nothing if they've gotten no elims all the way up until this point. Stacks Rooney falls. But Desmac gone as well. 3 more people need to go away before this match means anything to the rest of the lobby.
Ooh, and this half in, half out zone going right over Rift Island. You're going to have all those little wind sprites pushing people up into the air. It's going to be a little bit of chaos as that zone does start pulling over. But Jargu right now just playing on the edge of zone, waiting for players to kind of come his way. And looks like a player is going to be doing that, but Jargu is still realizing he doesn't have to kind of expose himself where he is right now. Just going to be playing the waiting game.
He has some time. Byla down to the Storm as well. We're down to 50. Every single elimination here from this point, if you're a survivor, you end up getting some of those points. Unfortunate, though, as one of the top fraggers in the lobby is not going to see the first endgame.
No, unfortunately, they are going to have to go back to the lobby and wait for that battle bus to come back to the bus stop. But Forensic Debt not going to have to wait right now. Ricks are trying to find a better way into zone, as he does have a few players also trying to make their way down using the Sub-Zero rotations. Doing a pretty good job saving out on mats, especially considering that they only have 5 materials. This kind of edge rotation that we see right here, this dead side rotate, just allowing him to save up and box in the final moments with just one mat to his name.
Literally the last mat possible. It's nice that he's not directly close to someone just next to him. There's some brick for him to farm in just a minute. Vaki going down. Jamal also falling on this one. Throws really greeting towards this right side, trying to find a way to get in and also recycling mats all at the same time. Here's a beam opportunity for him. 20 below, needs to find some damage. Ooh. 60 gained, and now he can breathe a little as he moves.
Yeah, great shots right there. Not going to wait too much time, letting Storm kind of encroach on him, but now taking a quick look at Trix. Just taking a quick look at the rest of the lobby as that zone finally does close in, and we're going to be having a lot more players probably rotate to that western side. And now we have that southwest pole right now. Trix already taking a look onto his rotation, watching for other players looking for the same thing and Just a clean, easy shot. We can already see some players making their way into that next zone, but Rift Island is where all the chaos is right now. And I honestly hope that we have a spectator up there. I would love to see just the chaos that's going up on there.
Yeah, it might be just a crazy bounce house all the way up top. Oh, Fago has a little bit of room to go with. Not too many builds, so got to be careful here to see what he's going to do. Yuma still in the action, only really has that one elimination that we saw way earlier on inside the game. Past that, not much else. Curve going right by him. So many players flying in, but it's just 30 damage that he picks up. A few more beams after the fact. His threshold is looking good. It's time for him to move, using other people's builds in front of him first. Just taking things nice and chill with that slide. Nothing else really for Yuma to do, but just follow in through all these builds.
Just taking a quick look right there, seeing if he can get some angles. He's probably expecting a few players to be rotating behind him, and that would be a great opportunity for a few shots, as we have Curve right next to him actually, and he goes for the shot, gets some damage on there, and that's all he's really looking for, not going for the aggression. Yuma, not too much of a double key player right there, but I do appreciate this kind of passive play style that we're seeing from him right now. Yuma, though, looking up, wondering if he's kind of thinking of high ground right there, but probably not. Just looking to see if there's any players next to him.
Gotta still keep saving mats, maybe just in the next zone, and a lot of people start to move again right in front of him immediately. Him and Noxy side by side. Yuma making some of the best cerebral decisions and rotations, and Noxy actually getting a lot of eliminations overall beside him, so we kind of have yin and yang kind of rotating with each other. Throws in front of the zone. We're talking about some of the aggressive decisions. That's Noxy's beam right behind Yuma now, and he has the ability to actually met up here, but the panic makes him just completely run out of both brick and wood. Just has that last bit of metal left.
Luckily, though, got some med kits on his loadout, so he's able to get full, or not full health, but 150 effective health right there. Quasify, though, looks like he's going for high ground. Drops down once he takes the shot, sitting around the mid ground right there. Pretty safe position to be in. Heals up with the mythic simple pump and the drum gun. Quasify has a pretty stacked loadout right now, but can he make it into the end game is the question.
Yeah, pushing over towards top 30 as well now. Zone getting smaller and smaller. No one definitively ruling this game just yet. Lots of people trading spaces all towards the sky. We do see one fight going straight to the clouds. Unfortunately for Quasify, he's not going to be able to move too far. 3 people go down, top 30 now. As Quasify is the one to round it out towards that 5-digit decimal. After that, Sammy takes down Peo. Kalski looking back towards the zone to see if he can pick up any type of value, but nothing yet from this layer. Supposed to be a bounce back, so lots of old bills going to be reused up till this point. Noxy, 2 eliminations so far. I said he might have a lot, but it's the way he plays that's aggressive, and he has control of high ground. He's had an entire control of this game since the middle of it, and he's about to make everyone pay now.
Is going to have some issues, though, with only 33 builds to his name, and it looks like he's going to be going for those rotations with the bat. A very smart play to make if you are going to be continuing to hold high ground. However, just getting chopped out of high ground right there. Fortunately for him, not too far up, and also with the bat, you're not going to have to deal with fall damage. But again, just 4 more builds to the name. He is going to have to shift down to a lower level and gets the elimination. As he does that, Noxy is proving to everyone that he is not going to let anyone take high ground from him, even without builds right now. Going to be chopping out the player right above him. Is he able to get the final elimination? No, unfortunately, is going to be dropping down just a little bit, and now Faith has the high ground.
It's an all-in, though. Just 6 builds left for Faith as more people fall below. We've chopped the lobby down in half to 16 as Daxathon gets some more. Again, another chop. Big jump off the bat tech as well for Faith to stay up top. Just takes 2 more builds to keep holding this one. And, yep, Faith is doing it. Looking for more eliminations down below. Not going to find too many. 100 to the dome, but no follow-up. Mantling over towards the right. Needs to get into this box at any time. It's not going to come through. Out of breath, out of time. Still has the way to jump and mime away into this box. Faith still almost can't do it. Blocked off the right, and still has got to live all the way down towards the ground. A somersault to keep things rolling. Faith is somehow making this one work. A build refresh to maybe buy some time.
I mean, who needs builds when you're able to get eliminations and get those refreshes and everyone else is building around you? He's just utilizing everyone else's builds. Incredible shot once again from Faith there. Now just 7 players remaining, popping a mini, making sure that he is at health as he can be. But is he going to be able to take down Soy Air, who's currently holding the high ground? Only 2 builds, but look at that loadout, Shio. That is a player that I think could be making it to the end, using the zip line to just hang in the air for a final moment before dropping down to a lower level.
Hey, Soy, good branding with the air. That's where you are right now, my man. Looking for some more shots, but taking a hit to the wings. Soy going to just drop back up and get slapped down by Oaken Gambling. Faith not going to be able to find much, but here's Day looking for more shots as well. 2 seconds after the zone. Miss, but then a pickup as well with the AR. How much time, how much space does Day have left?
How much sentinel pumps do you need? He had 3, but of course, dropping the blue, now holding the green. Interesting choice right there, but it's Big FaZe Mongrel. That's who I was looking for the entire game. Of course, he's making it into the final 2 up against Day. Oh, a big swing right there, and that is a home run from Big FaZe Mongrel. Congratulations. But you guys might know him as King Cringe, the 3rd seeded player coming out of our qualifiers. So Shio, not too much of a surprise to me seeing him get the first victory royale of the day.
Yeah, 3rd place overall, boosted up the first in the first game, and not in a cringy way at all. That's like a highlight-worthy moment in that sense, Kelly. I mean, that was crazy. Dropping up to the bat, going to low ground, taking things close and personal. The disrespect.
Yeah, it definitely was a bit disrespectful. He had the pump shotgun. He could have gone for that, but instead he wanted to go for the double swing, and I love it. I want to see the attitude. We had a little bit of a passive start to our PlayStation Cup, Shia, but that definitely changed once we started reaching the end game.
Yeah, the finals right now are just going insane. Did start off passively. It just went absolutely electric all the way towards the very end. Some of the highlights in this game as well. We saw Jargy's rotations. We saw the fights one-on-one towards certain boxes. Soy Air in the high ground, though. Nexo just popping off as well towards the end game. I mean, this was a tough game 1, Kelly, for the rest of the competition. If I'm looking at this, I am locking in for the rest of these games.
Yeah, we saw and we knew Storm Surge was going to be an issue, but I just wasn't expecting for so many players to stay alive kind of in the mid game there. But once we reached it into the end game, it came down to the King Cringe versus Day, and it did go to the King holding that crown. Very apropos for his name. But I'm excited to see what these players are going to be doing, if we're going to be seeing more kind of like basing with like search tags going into game number 2, because obviously Storm Surge was a big issue in that game.
Yeah, I want to see the consistency in points for a lot of these players as well as we dive into the match results from that game. What do things look like when the top 50 is being handed out in like the 7th zone, right? Big FaZe Mongrel up top, King Cringe 78 points in total. Day behind him by 10. That's the difference between 1 elimination inside the end game. Oaken Gambling was there as well up top on the high ground. Saw him with that big retake. Faith Cow all the way from where they were, Kelly, to the spot they got to. That's an insane clutch.
Oof. Just a pretty decent lead right now for Big FaZe Mongrel. It's a 10-point lead over 2nd place right there. But we still have 5 more games to go, Shio. All the players that we have here in our top 20, just even in our top 100 right now, have an opportunity to change things up in the next game and potentially find themselves in our top 20 leaderboard right now. But pretty low elimination game, which is what we expect out of the finals. You know, we did see some 20, 25 bombs in the qualifiers, but that is expected to change because so much money is on the line. A lot of these players are making sure that they get those placement points because elims is a big question mark when you get into these final games. So instead, going a little bit more passive.
Yeah, a little bit more passive, but you can see the difference then between 1st and 20th overall. We can see 38 points to 78, a 40-point difference in what is like 2 minutes of the end of a Fortnite game. Saw Droney as well, the way we were watching him play some of the end game moments in terms of diving towards the box. I think he was the one to take down one of the first people we were watching inside that game. All these names all around, just generally insane performance on that first one. I don't think anyone expected it to be that heavy and that kind of tight towards the very end, but again, big shout out to all these players. Kelly, when you're looking at these names right now, is there anyone on this page that kind of screams to you, we're going to see a repeat performance here?
Well, a repeat performance, I would definitely expect a Big FaZe Mongrel to be coming back with another top game in games 2 through 6, honestly. But for me, what I'm looking at is that there's 2 days in here, and I don't really know if any of them are actually the real Day from the FNCS. And that's my favorite part, is just guessing who these players are. Of course, Big FaZe Mongrel, not actually Mongrel chat, although I wouldn't be surprised to see Mongrel coming over to NA and playing some PlayStation tournaments, but Calc, I'm really hoping it's the real Calc. I know it's not. I don't even think he plays Fortnite anymore.
No.
But loving the names that we have right here.
Yeah, homages to the past. He's on a different wavelength now in terms of games. Shout out Soy Air, I guess, you know, the branding to be there on high ground as well. You can see how well high ground can treat you too if you're in it or at it that late. 54 points, 6th place overall in total. It's a good job to be up high all the way in the sky towards the very end.
Yeah, and you know, if we looked at the FNCS, which obviously trios is very different than solo competition, we saw a lot of players actually holding height from Zone 8 on. That's going to be a lot different in the solo finals. Obviously, you're not going to have players that are going to be able to just drop mats for you. So I'm expecting a lot of these players that were kind of holding height earlier on to maybe be a little bit more passive, playing that or low middle ground so that they can get some refreshes, and then potentially taking that high ground later on, like what we saw Day and other players doing in game number 1. So with 38 seconds remaining until game number 2, Shio, things are already starting to heat up. I can't believe that this is just game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, game number 1, absolute banger to start with. I don't know how we get higher here, honestly. At the same time, maybe it just takes big phase Mongrel to get big phased up and more mongreled up at the same time. I mean, he's not mongrel himself, so I'm going to treat every single word as an adjective. Give me one word to expect for game 2, Kelly. Tell me right now.
Chaos.
Chaos. Okay, I like chaos. We saw calmness in the first one, so you're looking at a mirror to go for the opposite. I like that a lot. Big shout out again to PlayStation as well for letting these tournaments run. We saw the qualifier format. We saw some big names who are winning games now in number 1. Number 2 is right across the way. It's just so exciting. You talked about some of these black markets. You talked about the mini map as well, Kelly. Let's bring it back up. Let's look at this drop. Kind of similar, top right to bottom left, a little bit higher overall. Saw North Zone 2. We looked at Crime City. Is there another POI just like Crime City that's also really good, maybe not as powerful?
Ooh, lots of people like Mass Meadows. You do have the vault inside of Mass Meadows, but just to the northeastern side, to those Rainbow Hills. I forgot what they're called, actually. Oh, actually, Rolling Blossom Farm. I remember.
Nice.
I know. Look at me go. There is going to be a black market near there as well. So that is definitely another prioritized POI. But again, with it being solo competitions, I can imagine that there's going to be a few people landing over in Mass Meadows. But taking a quick look at the winner from game number 1, Big Phase Mongrel. I actually think he spelled Mongrel's name wrong. How are you going to do that?
No 2 A's, just one. It's all good. It's like respect and disrespect. You know, like I can be you, but I can be the newer, faster, better you is kind of what he's claiming. I don't speak for him, but I'm not his lawyer. But here we are. That's what I'm claiming.
Ooh. Blue chest right off the start, getting a purple Sentinel shotgun is going to be a great way to start your game. However, it doesn't look like too many other people are really going to be fighting him. I'm wondering if he claimed his POI and now everyone is aware Canyon's Crossing is his and to not really go for it. But dropping the crown there, a symbol, a signal to everyone watching.
Do not mess with the GOAT of game 1. Big thing to note as well that if you're used to watching, you know, maybe streamers play a lot of Fortnite games themselves, or maybe even in other different tournaments, this is going to be a set lobby, so it's the same players game after game after game. I've already seen some of the familiar names inside the feed that we were watching in the first one fall, so, you know, Vedits, I believe, not going to be here in this one. We tuned in, I believe, if I'm thinking about patterns, there were 90 players alive at this point of the game, the first 2 minutes we were watching. Now it's 92, so when I talked about players locking in, it's getting even harder to gain some of these placement points. We are looking at an even stickier lobby than the game that we just watched.
Just makes me a little worried for the forecast that we can expect for game number 2.
Yeah.
Storms are coming. Dorito, though, looks like he's going to be paying a visit to Black Payo there, who is slowly just waiting right below him, but actually just sharing a little bit of the space right now. It's one of those shared housing situations.
Yeah. This should be like easy for him, right? This should be like a 50% easier game overall. He's used to 1v2ing. These are all 1v1s, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. What is
like.
this?
Yeah.
How are you going to call yourself the 1v2 and then not even go for the 1v1? That seems
that's what I'm saying.
False
advertisement. That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for a duo to push him in solos.
Yeah,
lost child. I understand.
I like it. That makes sense. I feel like for me, my name should just be "Please Don't Fight Me," and hopefully people will listen to that. You know, they see my name and they're like, "Oh, okay, we don't want to fight this person." But
that's a banger name. Don't fight Kelly. But like you mean it in a different way, right? Like
yes,
it seems like it's a threatening name, but like just please don't fight me. Yeah.
But speaking of fights, Droney taking a fight right now against his opponent. Looks like there is a little confusion going on, though. Droney getting third-partied over on Whiffy Wharf and be backing off from this engagement. Instead, going to be going for the other player who is sticking around right now. Potential fight against Dill and Droney. Never mind.
Let me calm down. Yeah. Whiffy Wharf, a few whiffs here pretty much, so...
How is there still 92 players alive?
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. We've both casted some of the stackier of the stackest games of all time. This lobby, genuinely, I'm not sure if things have changed over the seasons over the last 2 years. This lobby is one of the most like stacked in terms of just placement numbers I've seen in such a long time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
is this how it is nowadays? You can correct me, Kelly. Is this how things are going now?
Yes. Oh, 100%. It's because there's so many heals in the game. All the gold, you can just go to the black market and buy not infinite heals, but you know what I mean. A lot of heals. So players, they enter these fights and then they're like, okay, I'm just going to back off and heal a little bit now. But finally, a few players going down to 90 players now in the lobby. Cade over in Flooded Frogs with 2 others. Looks like he is going to be potentially entering an engagement right now. And who's it going to be going up against? I saw Twitter in the name, so that's what I'm going to be calling you. Cade versus Twitter.
That's a big ask. Big battle. Lots of members. But it's going to just back off. I think these players prioritizing some of the metal. That should be sparsely available on this map right now, so you got to get it where you can find it. Little fight in front of him. He's just choosing to loot up and get out. Not bad for the first start and portion of the game. Down to 89 now in match number 2. It's going to be crazy to see what we can do, jump in and do with next. With Wharf, I mean, 4 different players still over here. This fight is breaking out towards the skies.
Droney, though, backing off. Looks like he doesn't want to stay into this engagement for too much longer. Uses up his final splash right there, but he does have a bat still for those rotations. Max potentially going to be entering this fight, but looks like everyone is going to be backing off right now. Droney just trying to find a potential way to rotate out of this mess, as the rest of the lobby is just chilling. They don't mind. They got heals. They're fine in Storm. Not too worried about Storm sickness. But as I say that, Droney getting a few shots. Not much damage, though, but only 6 builds left to his name. Do these bandages going to be holding off the Storm, but can it hold off the players? Finally, one of the players leaving with Wharf, but 2 more remain.
Yeah, they'll be chilling for a long time. So many players on the map kind of doing the same. If this would happen in real life, how would it work? Like, where would the Storm kind of close in on things?
Wait, what do you mean if this happened in real life?
Like, I'm thinking about like Fortnite Storm, IRL grocery store.
Okay.
Like, where would be the best zone for it to close into? Like, do you want this thing closing on like the ice cream milk section first, closer to like the cash registers, or like would you want it like away from the register? Like, are you in Storm paying for the groceries and then going out to the parking lot where it's safe, or do you have to go into the parking lot to get home? Like, what's going on?
Have you ever gone to a grocery store that has little like fake Storm sounds for their vegetable area? They'll
No, but that's really cool.
So I have a grocery store near our house that like every hour will spritz little like water to keep the vegetables fresh or something. I don't know the science behind it, but it'll do this little fake Storm sound. So I was losing my mind for a second, thought that you were talking about that. So yeah, I'm going to say let's end the Storm on the vegetable section. They're already quite watered, but if we're going to have a little bit of Storm right there, I'm sure that they could use a little bit more. Don't quit, Sunny. I like that. That is the kind of enthusiasm that I need in my names. Going potentially up against Backtalk, although it looks like he's just watching, appreciating. Maybe he's a fan of Backtalk.
A hidden stalker of Backtalk, just making sure he attends every single concert. We'll see if it's a thing.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, it's not a thing at all.
No.
Hey, 3 heals. Very nice. 85 left alive. You did see one person go down beforehand as well. Kind of rough. He's not happy to be sharing space. There we go. That was his build as well.
There we go. Bob popping the little shrine here, and is going to be getting some items by sacrificing Bob, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long since I've used this thing. Hey, there we go. Okay, I remember.
Nice, and it actually refreshes the little Bob as well. That's huge. So he goes from 2 to 3, and we get some items, we get some ammo, we get some shots. We love to see it.
Love it. This is a nice little solo tower. Potential tags coming in. He does have a lot of real estate to his name right now, as we do enter a little bit more passive part of the game. And I feel like I'm going to be saying passive a lot. I'm no longer allowed to say that word, okay, Shio?
Passive?
Yeah.
Okay, let's find some more words for passive. I'm going to say not fast.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Go.
I like that.
Okay. The way Rick Court is playing.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Ooh,
One
ooh, ooh.
one elimination. Look at the heals.
Okay, that's true. It's actually not passive. It's the opposite.
Decent
Never mind.
mats.
Yeah.
Sticking to Storm a little bit in Crime City, so a lot of players just leaving right now, and it looks like he's potentially going to be taking a few more shots with the Hollow Twister. Can he get the shot off? He's looking, he's thinking about it, but he's not going to do it. He doesn't want to expose himself. He's in Storm, he's hiding. Oh, just kidding.
I knew as soon as you were going to make the claim, it'd be the opposite, no matter what you said. It's crazy the way the game works. He's going to slide down, he's going to go towards the zone in a very safe manner. What does he have hidden back here? What are your secrets, Mr. Rixor? Where are the heals? Okay.
Ooh. Oh, now taking a quick look.
The way in.
We've moved over to Kinksy. Got a friend right over there, Sin. Looks like he's going to be running the opposite way. Wow.
Yes. Sindogo, last game, I think we saw the exact same thing. Maybe he tried to fight or something, it didn't go well. So in this one, wanting to make it for the placement. Again, Kelly, everything here in terms of points, it's just fights. If these guys aren't fighting and getting eliminations, all the builds they're using, all the ammo they're shooting, if it misses especially, is for Nye. Like, they gain nothing from it until like the 7th zone, and that's such a long ways away.
It is a long ways away. Ken looking to do a long ways away rotate as well as he goes kind of for the southern rotate, and now looking at Arsenic right now.
Ooh.
Potential fight going on. Unfortunately, looks like he is making his way out of the black market, and there is a player standing in his way. You can see that blue arrow kind of keeps peeking back a little bit of where the Arsenic is there, but with that rotation a little bit farther on the southeastern side, it looks like they are going to be backing off right now. But Deshawn takes a shot from Arsenic, but returns the favor, and now Deshawn gets an Elam on the board.
Upgraded AR, the shotgun a better color as well. Pop 2 minis to hold a Bob. I mean, this is the situation perfecto for Deshawn, no?
Oh, yeah, especially with that Chug Jug, that legendary Chug Jug right there, getting you 400 HP. The Bob going to be healing you up in Storm as well. There does look like there is that yellow arrow on the map right now that wants to potentially steal those items away, but let's take a quick look at some fishing right now. You know, I've always wanted a peaceful fishing stream.
I'll keep it peaceful. Not even going to chat while he fishes. He's got one fish. Nice.
And it is a flopper, but we're looking for those shield fish, aren't we?
Yeah. Actually, flopper's not going to be too bad for Zaire. He's kind of rotating in from the zone, so.
Oh, you can see that one player doing the most deadest of rotations I've ever seen. Looking on the other side of the lobby, though, Par, who we were taking a look at earlier, doing a pretty good job. Doesn't seem to be struggling too much right now. Story might be changing as that zone does pull even further to the eastern side. It looks like we might be getting a Seaport City or Shining Span zone, which is just a terrible zone, honestly. It's a lot of water and there's a lot of chaos. And so, you know, Shio, you asked at the start of Game 2, what did I want? And I said chaos, and we might be getting that if this zone does pull over to Shining Span.
Honestly, I like it. I love water zones because I don't have to suffer through them, right? We get to watch other people suffer through the water zones. That's the best part about the water. It's for us. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. If we don't suffer, then it doesn't really matter, right? Everyone else can suffer for us. We can appreciate. Oh, no! Par with the misplay there. Fago going to be trying to take advantage of it.
Oh, he's trying to drop in. Stares at it. Can he get past through the wall? Yes. Fago up in the business again. Gonna find another wall. Not really expanding into a 2x2 box. So, ooh, the diagonal move is nuts into open territory. Fago cannot fight that one. It's way too exposed to everyone else who's looking for some type of surge. So he has to walk away.
Ooh, a good place to find some surge right now would be on Rift Island, and we can see Big Phase Mongrel, our winner from game number 1, going to be making that move onto Throlls there. Does go for the shot, but unfortunately misses. Throlls doing a pretty good job staying far away from Big Phase Mongrel right there. Looks like they are staying far enough away to not engage the NPC, which is a pretty smart move, as we saw a player from game number 1 taking shots all the way to the bottom of the ground. So quick rotation over there. It looks like he's going to be engaging another player, but may have not noticed that he was there, so instead running away, and he runs into another one, Chayo.
Oh my god, shield cracked as well. The other player behind him who gave him a ticket while he was trying to just fly express. He's gonna still chase. He's gonna run out of all his brick. Unfortunate. Lots to mine down here though. But I think forced down way before he would like to be touching land before. The sky is a big hit and a slide, but Damage traded over to King Zaire, who's looking to take a little bit the worst trade here overall. Has more heals though to rock with. The fisherman versus what looks to be a fish down below, out of water. Another shield fish pops again, swings with a bat. It's not enough. No way. Deca, good denial, and I hope he gets to live and make it through the words to circle. I mean, I'm not sure how many white heals he has, but I guarantee he has at least a few.
I would imagine that he would be able to survive that and make his way into zone. They weren't too far off there. Crypt Vortex, healing up, boxing up, taking a quick look at Par once again. Par, just kind of the star of the show right now. But Silence. We're looking at Aiden there, a top competitor in the FNCS.
Yeah, and he invests.
Yeah.
Yeah, he builds up. It's all good. Aiden will stay back. His name KBM, but right now on controller. Ooh, denied again by one ramp. The efficiency, the shots there as well. Silence looks to be out of their depth at the moment, but not much else found for now. Still trying to go for this fight on the defensive, desperately looking for a shot here. Doesn't have too many mats available either, so this might be a last-ditch effort to go for some type of win. One shot edit, two. Silence is all you hear now from Aiden.
Oh my goodness, incredible shot there. And with a little bit of heals on the board for him as well, he's going to be able to make a quick rotate there, and one elimination on the board. It's going to do good once that Storm Surge does pop, but Amp off into the distance. Another one of our top competitors. You definitely do not want to be going up against him as that zone is slowly closing in. Full heals topping off for Silence here. If they do a pretty clean rotate to the circle.
This is crazy. I swear the next like Avengers movie was coming out next year, but all I see right now is Doomsday in front of the circle for these guys kind of rotating in. This is just a horrible soul to be able to play with. Water all over the ground. I mean, what do we even do here, Kelly?
Oh no, and no one has builds. I mean, we saw how bad the end game was for game number one. And no, it's just going to be a pool party. Everyone's going to be swimming with the sharks. Hopefully there's a player that has been able to kind of hold their mats and kind of builds the zone for everyone else. But Silence going to be taking a little bit of a water zone himself, actually. It looks like they're just going to be kind of prioritizing staying far away from that congested side of zone. CR kind of doing the same thing with this southern pole, but a little bit of a fight going on. Going to be ignoring it. In fact, going to be going for the tower. I love to see it. Even though we are in a solo PlayStation Cup, we do still have these surge towers throughout the map.
They're all over the map, and CR's trying to take any shots that he can at the moment, but not going to really find much towards the things that are close left and right to him. He's going to get sprayed from far away as well. Surge about to be active, just 16 above. Throlls forced to fight now. Can't hide anymore on top of an island. You have to get close and personal towards the ground. There's a few shots up against Punisher. He's trying to find just a few more. Not going to go through for now. Bikes down. Horizon gone as well, decayed. Yuma falls. That's unfortunate. Out of the top Titans of the mid game in the first one are now not really surviving in the second. Nice stairs flip, shotgun misses, but after that the head found by Throlls. He does not commit to the fight, not commit to the game, and that might be points that he's gonna miss out on. Second shot from the shotgun misses again. 6 total points from Throlls kind of gone away, and all the builds that he kind of has right now might be able to make him survive for a long time, but can he win the game from here?
Oh, Punisher punishing Throlls there for not going on the aggressive, taking that elimination away from him. Throlls, though, just trying to survive with 3 med kits in his loadout. I'm thinking he's not going to have too much of an issue with the Storm, but that's not including Storm Surge. 42 below right now. That elimination that Punisher stole is exactly what Throlls needed, so hopefully getting a few tags on a Punisher, but not enough. Still 15 damage below as he makes his way over to Shattered Span. Punisher, though, going to be trying to stop him in his tracks. Can he get the elimination? And he does exactly when he needs it. Great job from Throlls right there.
Yeah, nice map refresh as well. His story looking fine now as everyone walks in towards Shining. An absolute ocean down below of what seems to be bodies inside caskets almost in these boxes. I mean, you're not going to be happy kind of in the middle of the water right there, but not too many people are focusing those boxes for now. Surge still active for a bunch of these players. 7 people need to go down now for placement to start as well. Sunny, unfortunately, quit this time or forced to. Pars is there as well, a name that I recognize from way back in the day, but Han Art on our screen just needs one more shot to land on any person in front of him.
And it is Pars that he's looking to take some shots on right there, but back off just for the moment as it looks like Storm Surge is no longer activated. However, though, if there are going to be all these players building over the water, rotations are going to be difficult, and you might as well take a few tags on them if you can. However, the zone pulling to this northwestern side out of the water and now into these hilly areas. Con Art going to be taking a few hits onto Stacks there if he can get the elimination. Silence, who we watched just a few moments ago grab an elimination. Looks like they're going to be just farming up. I love it. Rotating and farming at the same time.
Now, Silence, unfortunately, when you build here, sometimes it does crack these rocks open, so you have to be careful. Did miss on a few before, but now really just locking in the gameplay, making sure you have that refresh available as you move. They're going straight over towards that zone on the deadest of deadest sides. Just keeping a track on Amp as well. Not afraid to fight some of the best of the best. Silence is just looking for the best opportunities. A trap play here from Amp, though, missing the first shot. A 98 as a response from Silence. I mean, albeit his name, this man is loud when it comes to the shots, and he's going to keep chasing overall. This is an isolated fight, of course. He's seen people rotate in behind him. He knows there's no one here, but he stops. Amp on his way right now. The Silence pistol there too. Insane from Silence. That. What is that reversal? That's crazy.
And, you know, hear me out. I love the effort from Amp, you know, playing for the sneaky strat there, but Silence getting a little bit of a height advantage with that hill, understanding that Amp, low health, was going to have to rotate out of Storm. So instead of going for the box fight, he says, you have to come to me. I'm going to take that shot, and he gets the elimination. Now looking back once again to Con Art 9, who's just kind of in the thick of things. Oaken Gambling, though, a little bit of a high ground advantage as he's just looking to take a few tags onto players. But with it being Zone 7, not too certain if he's going to be able to hold height for that much longer. 100 builds isn't too bad, though, and with this final zone popping, that western side is looking sparse.
Yeah, placement's active right now for everyone on the right. Oaken about to see that there's no one really on the left. It pulls left as well. This guy gets all sevens, pulls the lottery in terms of where you can be for the moment. His zone, or his entire base, is almost kind of right next to the zone too, so we might see some people landing on top of it. He goes all the way back up. This is one of the best surge spots in the game. Now you can just put a lot of pressure down onto the lobby and save all his mats as it happens as well.
A little interested in what Oaken's doing over here. He had an opportunity to rotate really early, but instead, like you said, going for those tags, but I don't know if this is necessarily the right play to make. He's got tons of heals. He's got decent builds, especially considering that we're already over in Zone 8. He is going to be able to get some good tags, though, Shio.
Yeah, this is exactly what he wants to do. So everyone else will move in. When he shoots, he forces them to build. He forces them to slow down as well. They're going to box up exactly where he wants them to, and then he just gets to jump on top of their box from this position with the bat. They're all going to build for him. He's going to save so many mats. He's right next to the next zone. I guarantee he might even be height after this one. Con Art, though, that we were watching, taken down by Soy Air, who we saw retake high ground in the last game. He's in this one. I mean, Kelly, we were also watching like 40 or 50 people alive in this moment. Now it's down to 34. As Tiger winner also is going to be in trouble on the low ground.
Oof, no heals for Tiger, and they are out of shields down to 63 HP, so just going to be boxing up on the low ground, waiting for everyone else to kind of come to him as he's trying to take a little bit of a lackadaisical approach there. I almost said passive, but I didn't, Shio. I didn't say it at all. But the zone closing in and that pulling towards the northeastern side, actually a pretty good position for Tiger to be in right now as it does slowly start moving. He's going to be able to get a quick edit there, but Faith, look at that loadout. Look at the builds. I would not be surprised if we see some high ground control from Faith as he is slowly starting to tarp over.
Never seen Faith go all in that last game, control height for a long time, and now, yeah, Kelly 100% has the ammunition when it comes to building all the way up top in this moment. Look at the beams. Look at the sprays. Faith, what was that? So much damage. That's on the Oaken, who we thought would be the king of this lobby, but it is Faith that's the better stat and supreme instead of luck at the moment, all the way up top in the sky. Still trying to find a way to keep height, double layering and getting even higher. I mean, Faith is insane.
Those builds, though, are slowly starting to dwindle. Taking a great job, though, paying attention to the lobby. It's not just about building. It's not just about being able to be aware if you're going to get chopped, but taking those shots on the players, trying to stay at the front side of zone right now. Faith, with these angles, and just doing such a good job punishing these players for not paying attention to high ground right now. That's what I love to see.
The absolute lottery winning moment for Faith right now is that the zone bounces back towards their side and all of these builds that are metal just fully regenerate and can be reused. So much pressure from this side, such an all-in from Faith right now, and the zone pulls away max side even further. So now Faith, some decisions to make. Do we keep it rolling, or is it absolutely chopped down? It is. Now we get to just lock in with it again, trying to maybe catch towards the antenna tower. Almost does force the box up, but I guarantee Faith will go for that head again.
I love that. I love that move, though. It didn't exactly pan out as they wanted, especially with Elite Pump up on high ground right now. But honestly, if you're going to go for a plan and it doesn't work the way you wanted to, Faith handled that perfectly. Still going for Caden, not allowing that little bit of a slip up to slow him down right now. But you know, with Pump up on the high ground right now, it's going to be a lot more difficult to take high ground away. But Faith looks like he's still sticking to the front side of zone. Is he going to be building up, potentially taking this away from Pump? No, looks like he is going to be staying in the mid ground. But Pump, 2 eliminations on his name, only 15 builds, but he's not done just yet. Grabs a great elimination there. For a second, I thought he was going to be going for the refresh, but instead, no, oh, he does go for the mats right there. I love this play right now. He's got the bat. He realizes that no one else is on high ground, so he's going to be able to go back into Storm, pick up the refresh, and now make his way and control height once again.
Almost just as many mats to get that refresh that he got, so not sure about his return on investment there, but top 10 now. Every Elam basically giving you like almost 12 points, and here it is, Cade going for one, just getting a haircut down, just a little bit of HP, refresh on mats available in front of him as well. 150 to be able to play with. Cade still moving up this mountain, kind of getting claustrophobic, but is able to go all the way towards the right side and curve his way around up into towards the mid ground. Has the tree to chop as well for the last wall, and this is Cade all in. This is Pump on height, fighting for his life. Shot towards the right side, not gonna find much yet, but after that, the edit down and the jump up might just be the solution he needs. Forward, a complete slap to the face and a beam to keep him going and stay alive with the siphon ticking in over time. It's Pump who stays on height and has a huge refresh.
I love Siphon. Great job from Pump right there. Cade on the low ground with just 20 HP does get stuck in Storm, but not taking a damage. Great shot right there, and an elimination onto Solary. Cade with 5 eliminations now, gets down to 12 HP, but Faith is down there below. Another player as well. He goes back into Storm with just 2 HP, Shio.
There's no way every single player's missing onto Cade, and somehow he's living, surviving the final 1v1. It's Pump, the hard worker, against Faith, who gets slapped down. Faith made it the whole way through. Pump is the one to take it over towards the end. First place goes to Elite Pump, and I think that's my favorite game so far of the night. That end game was crazy.
That was a great end game. My goodness, I love Pump holding the high ground right there, but all the low ground action just going on as well. So many eliminations being collected, and I think we definitely had more eliminations from our final 3 or final 5 than we did in game 1, which shows to me that these players are getting comfortable and they're getting aggressive, Shio.
Absolutely. This is not the only game 2 you guys are going to be seeing all year from PlayStation. They're running these types of tournaments all year round, so make sure when they're coming near you, you sign up, you play in these qualifiers, you get in these finals. I mean, this is some of the most action I've seen PlayStation players get inside Fortnite tournaments. It's absolutely insane. The highlights of this game should be renamed to Godlights, maybe. That end game right there, in terms of prowess towards the low ground and the way that people were fragging, the way Cade lived, the siphon, Kelly, it's perfect.
I mean, this is already such an exciting start to our competition. And as Shio said, it's going on all year. It's so easy for you guys to join. If you're watching this and you say, I want to be a part of the PlayStation tournament, well, guys, make sure that you're following Fortnite Competitive. That's where we tweet out everything that is going to be going on. And if you sign up for your PlayStation 5 console, it's so easy to be able to kind of like hook up to these tournaments, guys. Please go check it out. It's so much fun. It's great practice. And you get to see players like Elite Pump just controlling the high ground and getting so eliminations. I am excited to see where they're going to be in our leaderboard.
Yeah, if your parents are asking you what it's about too, just mention, you know, the overall prize pool for this one, $62,000 with an extra 500 in there as well, and see their reaction and go and play your games. I mean, it's going to be crazy, and what we're watching so far is definitely worth the money as well. Basically, almost a $10,000 impact every game these guys are playing today. Let's look at that scoreboard as well, just for match 2 specifically. Elite Pump all the way up top. We had 74 points before with 7 elims. He's got 81 points total on the board, but some repeat names here. Kelly, Faith in 4th place with another 62.
Yeah, Faith doing such a good job right there. We know that eliminations are great. Holding high ground is good, but it's all about consistency in these tournaments. Can you make it to the end game over and over again? And Faith proving that they are able to do that. So excited to see what our total leaderboard is going to be looking like once we do get to that moment. But I mean, for right now, Shio, I thought that we had a great start. It's just 2 games. We have 4 more to go. And here we have a big FaZe Mongrel still holding out in first place, but just 4 points ahead of Oaken Gambling. And then, of course, from there, we got Twitter Oreo and 10-point difference. There is still so much change, but I'm surprised at this leaderboard.
I'm surprised too. I'm wondering where Faith is at. Maybe the point combinations in total not really hitting all the way towards the top side. A 30-point addition towards FaZe Mongrel. Oaken, we saw their name twice, and Oreos as well, over and over again. I want to just make sure everything's locked in towards this leaderboard. We're looking at the best of the best so far. If Mongrel's holding up top, I feel like it's only a matter of time before we see Elite Pump come in and we see the top 10 looking even better.
Yeah, and there's still 4 more games. A lot could be changing right now. Just taking a quick look to see what we got coming up next. 4 more games to go, Shio. And Chad, if you're watching right now and you're just joining us, well, welcome, guys. We have so much going on. Tons of qualifiers led us to this 100 best competitors in the Fortnite PlayStation tournament. But we have to crown a victor in 4 more games, Shio. So much money on the line right now, but with just a few more seconds left before we get into game number 3, what do you want to see?
Me, more of that. More of whatever just happened in that second end game. I want more of that. I want the same names kind of trying to do specific things that they like to do, so to dive into that, like Faith loving high ground, Elite wanting to retake it, people like Silence, the mid-game warriors who are really pushing for fights. I want to see more of that. I just want to see themes. I want to see narratives. I'm an esports junkie. I want the underlying story fed to me like a newspaper on a Sunday on a porch where I'm 50 years old and like retired, hopefully. That's a big ask. That's a young age to retire, but that's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah.
I appreciate though the confidence that you have in your early retirement. I wish you luck in that, and I do want to wish luck in Faith, because Faith is currently sitting in our first place spot right now with 117 points. Pump though just below them. There is a 14-point difference though, and it is tied now for second place between Pump and King Cringe. So a lot of competitors right now all kind of hanging out together in the top of that leaderboard, and I personally love to see these super top heavy leaderboards, because that means that once we do get into that final game, these top competitors have to start making some pretty risky plays if they want to beat out the other players in that top 10.
Absolutely. And in terms of risk, we see people like Faith, players like Pump, not going for the riskiest of plays of all times, right? They're making good kind of decisions to take good risks, but they're not kind of all inning to boxes when they don't have to. They're controlling the game as much as they can, not trying to over fish for eliminations either. They're sticking on their spots, doing as much damage as possible, letting the game come to them, and that's perfect in this type of format. You see it right now too, Kelly, right? Every single game, the average we see is like 3 or 2 elims per player. It's that placement that's the bulk of it, so you want to survive.
I thought you were saying that that's what we're seeing right now. We're waiting for the game to come to us as we are waiting for game number 3 to be starting. But thank you guys for hanging out with us right now. And once again, please, guys, go onto PlayStation, follow Fortnite Competitive. If you guys want to follow more of these tournaments, or if you want to join these tournaments as well, even outside of Fortnite, PlayStation puts on so many incredible tournaments. So please follow them on all social media so that you guys can stay tuned to see what happens next. But Shio, what's happening next for us is match number 3.
I mean, always after 2 comes 3, and after 3 comes 4. After that, I'm not sure, but for now, let's see where these guys touch the floor. Lots of players on this bus. I got some rhymes as well. I'm not sure how long that'll continue for, but talk to me about Canyon Crossing. What's this POI?
Well, it's right next to Shogun Solitude. It's got some decent loot there. It's not the most highly prioritized POI. It's a little bit of a weird zone, but it's not too bad. The thing that's rough about it, though, is those mountains, obviously, to the eastern side. It makes rotating a little bit difficult, and to the northern side, you have all the new POIs, which is usually where all the big names are going to be landing. So it's a decent POI, but Seaport City, I'm a big fan of this POI right here, and it looks like Pump is as well.
Yeah. Winner from that last game, triple digits up on the board as well. Want to make sure that we're taking over Faith this time, looking to keep up on damage, and I love drops like this. No way we start with an elimination right off rip. Sane. Honestly, I wouldn't blame it if I saw 99 players after the next game. Like, Insane just goes to sleep. Honestly speaking, if that's me, I'm going to sleep, but stay in the game, never give up. If the sun is aiming at you and jumping into the earth, take take out a sword and unsheath it, right? Swing against the sun. You can come back, and there's silence also in such a tough spot. The mid-game warrior himself is not going to find a way to weave words around this one. Sky jump. It's the drop on him.
Silence is silenced, and he pulls out the Zoidberg. Insult to injury right there, and he gets the slurp, all the heals for him. Wait, there we go. One more hot hit, and he gets the shields, and now he's got this little kind of no-name POI, this landmark all to himself and elimination, so he's not going to have to worry too much about Storm Surge. That is what I like to see. That is a good start to the game. 94 players. Shio, I already feel like things are picking up from game 2.
Yeah, there was 92 before. Kelly, I want you to name that landmark. What is that landmark?
I mean, they're on Shogun's Solitude, so it's not a landmark.
The last one.
I don't know. I'm not Taco.
All right, we're going to name it Generator Place. I like it.
I like
because I
that.
saw
That's
some
good.
generators.
Yeah, it's going to generate some interest.
Yeah, straight up. That's the type of name. Okay.
Yeah,
I like it. I can't hate on game. And honestly, if I'm Punisher, I'm probably hating this fight because half these walls you cannot place, you cannot own. You have to just let the person inside do their own thing the whole time. It's so tough. And pushing all the way down towards the bottom side, kind of getting the drop off on their opponent now. Punisher's trying to find something, a pyramid to try to box fight with, but again, disengagement, raw shot, back and forth, pop, boom, done.
Oof, that could have gone a few ways, but it went the way of Punisher right there, and getting some heals quick and easy over in Shogun Solitude. And now, I mean, Solitude is definitely very appropriate for the name because there is just no one near him. That is not going to be the case, though, for Ozboz, as it looks like there is another player just right around the corner that looks like he's going to be trying to stop this vault take. Ozboz, though, just building around, doesn't look like he's too interested in engaging. But that might not be the case for the player going for the vault.
It's just calm now for both sides. Crazy. It's called Crime City, but all these guys are kind of doing normal Fortnite things. No one's really stealing anything, right?
That's true. That's true. Fago, though, not doing too many normal things because entering this engagement right here at the Health AD and getting the elimination. Wow, that is extraordinary, if I'd say so.
Yeah, and a very extraordinary kind of circumstance here for game number 3. We've been seeing a number towards the top left kind of lock down. It was 92 in the last game, 90 beforehand. In this one, the number's not locking anymore. It's starting to fall slowly, which kind of tells me that a lot of these players are realizing it's time to go for some of these all-in isolated fights. It's time to get my damage on the board. I can't live inside these end games with all this surge if I don't have A, the right amount of mats to play with, and B, the eliminations, the damage I need from the person that's standing next to me. So you'll see things like Jaxie taking down Crypt Vortex here in the feed. You'll see fights go the whole way through, like King Zaire, who we saw in an end game suffering from surge himself, up against Alvi, what it looks like on the other side of the wall here, and he's probably going to all into this fight as well. Yes, it's disengaging for now, looking to shield up, but these fights are what all these players need to really have a good game for the rest of the time.
Right. Walks up. Looks like he's going to still try and run away. He still has some shields on his name, so there's not an opportunity to back off. Oh, clean shots from the window, but he's able to box up just real quick. Is he able to run away, though? The other player is not backing off just yet. Able to get the mini, but he breaks into the shell. Oh my gosh, Shia, what is happening?
1 HP, surviving by a stare and the good ping of his household. Zaire drops down and re-edits. One more shot. Zaire, no ammo. No way.
What is
1
happening?
HP. There's no chance. There's so many players getting away with things like this. He's acting like he's really healthy this time. Finds a big just on the side of the street. Is able to just mini up as well. 3 builds left. Backs it all the way up. 2 more now. Cannot really make a box. Just 1 stare. And this time, the pre-fire's there from Ali Vest. No chance, but you can see how scrappy it's getting now, Kelly. I mean, things like that happening this early is crazy.
Oof. That, honestly, though, big shout-outs to Ali there, not backing off just yet. With all the shields that he had, there was an opportunity for Ali to lose that elimination, but does go on the aggressive and does pay off. Fago farming up right now. He does have that mythic drum gun, and it looks like he's going to be potentially moving his way over to Foxy Floodgates. Actually, instead, just going to be farming up right now. If there's no one else near you, you might as well. As you said, Shio, a lot of these players going to be looking to change up their end game, making sure that they have all the mats that they need to be able to kind of navigate those mid, low, and high ground zones as we do get into zone number 2 right now. but still just chill. Nice little snowfall.
And this might be exactly what Fagel's looking for. Not a native to this spot. You're right, this is an odd rotation from him, but maybe a third party is exactly what he needs. Scoping in with that drum gun, looking for like 100 damage beam on one of these players. It'll make the other one react to it, maybe get him lower. He's getting so close and personal with it. He's making no noise. Big it's 26 for the big 26 damage. Fago all that time. And these two immediately disengage. He gets 26 damage and runs absolutely all the way away.
You know, I'm not in the PlayStation finals, so I can't judge, but I feel like there could have been a few different moves that he made there. But Fago, still alive, has the drum gun, decent mats. I can only judge so much, so. All right.
Sometimes you greed out all the way towards the very end. Trap play for RW here. Not much else to be seen. He actually flips the trap over when we saw Skyjump go for this little bit of a corner peek. RW actually ends up getting lots of damage onto him, and yeah, now it's a bit too much to pickaxe through. A lot of the times you can just walk around some of these boxes when you're forced to actually break the walls. And we're not doing all that. I'm out of the POI.
Oh, Skyjump though, for a second. Thought he was around the corner. RW though, able to kind of just take a little look on this high ground right here. Get some shots onto Akira potentially. Ooh, but be careful. If that's a gentle mate right there, you're going to have the entirety of France going up against you. RW taking a great dash into him, but not able to get into the box just yet. Not able to get that pump off. What a great rotate, though.
It's tough here. Sure, going to be forced up into the corner. Two players now on either side of him. RW forced to push forward at the same time, blocking off his back, looking, making sure, checking through his edits, what the progress is, and the person trying to mine his way all the way in. Now he's kind of just trapped in here. Has to find a different way out of the floodgate. He can actually get it if he tries. Still chasing down Akira. These metal builds take a long time to kind of fracture in. He's gonna go for a heal, and as that does happen, maybe look to keep tracking Akira through these walls. Not gonna find too much for now, but sees him going all the way up, blocked by the generator. Just enough time for Akira to drop down to the side and base up.
But on the other side of Akira is Skyjump, and we know that once we reach the skies, that Skyjump just gets a little bit of a boon, right? A little bit of a buff there. Yeah. Akira, though, going to be kind of hanging out in the floodgate right there, but we're going to be switching on over to Arsenic as he's in a box fight right now with his competitor. He's got that mythic gun, but not much damage is able to be done. A build fight going on against Sidar. It looks like Sidar is going to be disengaging right there using the Sub-Zero dash. And Arsenic also looks to be disengaging, going for the heals and sticking into Storm. Going to be re-farming up just a little bit. There is a med mist right there, so not going to be too worried about Storm.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of the server has taken this moment to make 84 their identity in terms of the amount of players that'll be staying alive till the next major cataclysmic event. No one really going down in these fights, and enough room for everyone to really walk around. That's kind of how it is usually, right? 100 people drop in. It always goes down to like 80 until it equalizes. Then it drops down to 60 really fast.
Right. Yeah. And then you're down to like 15 players somehow in the span of a minute.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
Sir Kong though.
Yeah.
Praying, watching. I like the name.
Yeah. It's chilling. Got Fago on the other side. Definitely a competitor that you have some question marks going up against the 1v1. But our zone 3 pulls right in the center. Looks like this is going to be a pretty chill rotation for majority of our lobby as we take a little bit of a respite.
Nice little looting still happening here from Arsenic all the way inside the zone. You talked about it, Kelly. I mean, you gave me the insight here. The heals are insane. He can stay in zone for so long. It's actually wild.
Yeah. And then, you get gold throughout the map, and then you head your way over to the black market. Even in Storm, even in 15 minutes into the game, you just have these splashes, or you have your Chug Jug, or you have anything that can just heal you in Storm for a very long time. Storm sickness isn't too much of an issue once you do get to the final zones of the game because everyone's already down, so you don't have to worry about Storm. But Elite Pump, not a player that we have to worry about that. Look at that, pretty much full mats. Got 6 splashes, 2 sets of heals. The only issue he has is that green hollow and that green sentinel. But on the hands of Pump, that's not going to be too much of an issue.
pump and winning and third parties. You know what that type of mix reminds me of, Kelly?
What's that?
PlayStation and Fortnite, honestly. And the partnership that these two, grand companies have kind of collaborated and brought together this entire tournament format for us. It's possible because of the great partnership that they have. It's a PlayStation exclusive prize pool we're looking at today, as well as provided and enabled by that partnership. And it's a strong kind of, signal overall kind of status of how both these guys are committed to making sure that everyone that's playing these games is kind of enhanced, has something to do, and is supported all year long.
When two things are brought together, it's called a mashup. But in reality, I would really call it a slam, and that's exactly what that player's name was. But I said the joke too late, and now I'm embarrassed. Ledesmac going up against Alba, but Alba is going to be backing off right now. Looks like she's going to be making her way into potentially that could be the Dilbit server room. Actually, I think we're in the wrong spot for that. But Ledez not going to be backing off just yet. Going to be chasing Alba down the zip line. Can Alba hold off, though, is the question.
Might be wondering why. Why give your mountain spot up for a fight like this? It's all because of Storm Surge. You want to be able to have damage down. And we're going through like 17 different biomes, places, tunnels, streets, chimneys, snow mountains. Things are drastically changing here in terms of just the setting. And Ledesmac has now finally given up and will go back where he came from. That is crazy.
I appreciate the tenacity, but to back off when you need to for the opportunity to kind of, refarm, find another player that might be near you, or even just breaking down some builds for fun. I can understand that it's less so doing the right thing and more so realizing when you're doing the wrong thing and stopping it. But taking a quick look at where Storm is for Ledez, 18 below. He knows that there is a player up here on the peak. Can this be an opportunity for him to get some damage, or is he going to be going for the Hollow Twister tags instead? Dax aware, but doesn't look like they're too interested in engaging Ledez here.
Yeah, Ledez just needs one shot here for a second. He's going to build out slightly, but maybe have an angle for the rest of the map down below. The issue is that everyone is just coming in from circle. They're either underground in the tunnels or are finding hidden ways to get way past Ledesmac on sight lines you can't really see. 80 players alive, so 30 need to fall for placement. It's going to be tough for Ledesmac to really get any type of value here if he just stays alive and doesn't do anything. He needs to find some damage.
Looks like he is going to be making that move. He does see some players hitting over. Just the angle of this mountain zone isn't exactly what he needs to get some good, easy tags. But as he makes his way over to the edge of this mountain, he does know that Alba is right over there. And it looks like, I thought that they're going to go on Alba, potentially going to be going on to Max, landing right here without any kind of fall damage because of the bat. And he looks like he is going to be going on this aggressive, not able to get a shot just yet. Max is going to make this difficult for him, but Max not putting up much of a fight for himself.
Like the reads though inside there, or Max just making sure that we're taking away and going towards places that are advantageous for us. Big damage and shot from Ledesmac to kind of stay above that threshold. Maxo might have seen the fact that his shield almost cracked, but I don't think he knows that he's under that surge threshold for the moment. Meanwhile, Droney, other side of the map, forcing into the box, has the opportunity to go for every single shot and spray, but misses everything. Not a single lick of damage. Yuma, who's been eliminated multiple times in the mid game, is going to actually find the first time to be able to stay alive. Good for him in this one.
Ledez chasing, hoping, praying, getting the shot up. Ooh, a great shot right there, and he does get the elimination and the storm surge that he needs. Quick heals up to full shield there, and just in the nick of time as Zone does pull, and he's going to be making his way over the mountain. Not too many players in his way, though, so rotations are going to be probably a pretty smooth sailing for him. But just 80 above. Not exactly where you want to be, Shio.
Yeah, we've seen people who are like 300 above, like in 10 seconds, fall below. So you got to keep fighting over and over again. Sirkong, yeah, has one elimination in a previous match.
Oh.
In this one, though, 0, right? Just 3 points for the moment.
Well, if you're going to be 50 below, well, having a 4 med kits might help you.
If you want to heal up and lose all your shield as well, he's not going to have any shield at the end of this. I mean, it's a definitive play. I don't mind it whatsoever. It's 5th out of the 12 zones, though. So in terms of your long-term success, gotta find some shots.
And that's exactly what he's looking to do onto the GOAT in the back right there. But Black Payo also taking a few shots, picks the GOAT, unfortunately getting attacked from so many angles right here. Now Sir Kong just taking shots onto any players that are making their way into zone as it slowly does close. A good position for him on the edge here, realizing that players are going to have to make their way to him, but still 64 points below Shio. This isn't looking good for him.
How to find some answers, and he doesn't even know what the question is at the moment, so absolute loss for that guy there. Jargy though, 37 below, and he stabbed from the sky, poked from the sides, and in 3 seconds should be saying bye-bye. 2, 1. There it goes.
Oh my goodness, did you get the script? And here we have it. This is the play that I want to see, everyone. Sir Kong versus the Storm. Medkit goes off. Can he last as long as those players need to go down? I don't know, Shio. I'm going to say that Sir Kong is going to be saying goodbye. And oh gosh, I was about to do what you did.
You're gonna have to count for a while. You're gonna have to count for a while. He's got 3 60, 59, 58. It's gonna be crazy. Sir Kong, yeah, he's gonna have some medkits to use. My fear is that he's using them just a bit too fast, a bit too close to half his HP. Has to wait for it to strike down just a bit more to get some value in terms of time. There we go. He's just gonna go for it instead. Not gonna go down to that 20 HP or that 15. I mean, one more medkit left here, Kelly. I'll let you know when you can start counting.
Okay. Let me know. I want to be cool like
yeah,
you. You really impressed me with that countdown. So now I want to do it, and now I'm not going to be able to do it.
This way, he's 124 below. Still trying to look back outside the zone. 13,
Ooh.
13, 13. This is so tough. This is like what has to be an SMG, right? There's nothing you can really get in terms of range with that one. I'll have to shoot someone 8 times. He has 2 shots down now, but needs about 6 more. I don't have to count for Zenko, I don't think. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No, just everyone's below right now. It's a rough situation. Some tags going on to Zenk, though, but he's able to recover right there, builds back up. Going to be getting these shield pods off, but a player right next to him not aware of just how low. Actually, as I say that, Zenk is going to be going right down because a player is aware that he sees those healing going off, but backing off finally again. That zone all the way over into the eastern side. This is going to be a water zone. You were asking for it, Shio.
Honestly, give these players a break. They're doing enough work with the surge. I kind of feel bad for asking for these water zones now. This is crazy. Look at the amount of players that have to move off the left side, still in trouble. Sir Kong, I mean, surge stop for now. Still, no placement. All these eliminations we've watched so far, the people on the losing side of them have gotten no points if they've gotten no elims. 54 people still left alive. We have to go down to 50. And that's when you start getting 1 point, one measly little point to third of an elimination. So you definitely want to live longer than that. But look at this. No shield for Sir Kong. No HP for Noise at the very side XBL. Over there, Vin, probably no bills. I see no pyramid above him. Like, these guys are broke.
Oh man, it's something that I don't know if you noticed there in the Elim feed, but Faith, our #1 player, goes down early before the 50 player mark, so not getting any points. Hopefully he was able to get a few Elims, but that's definitely going to be shaking up the leaderboard. Par right here with 1 elimination, but only 5 above, just trying to stay in the game. Sir Kong, the player that we were just watching, a player trying to break into the box, but unfortunately does go down. You, the player that gets the elimination, also low on health. Par trying to make this incredible dead side rotate, but it's so hard when there's other players doing the same thing right behind you. Skyjump does get an elimination onto bikes, but Par just trying to stay alive right now.
After this is where elimination or placement points, excuse me, start to come in. Still locked in at 50 players as this zone goes down finally. Down to 48. Par with a player right on his back, but he's not going to be cosplaying Dora on this one. No backpack here. He's looking for a map to try to get into the next portion of this zone. 8 seconds left to see where else he can call home. This is kind of very temporary for the moment.
Oh, no.
A river separating 2 different communities of players right now.
Par with, I think, 7 ammo between his 2 weapons. Definitely not the position you want to be in. Noxy with the armored car in a better position. Get the hit. Oh my gosh, please run him over. Oh, Noxy switching seats so that he can get a shot. I appreciate it. Pump trying to punish Noxy.
This is crazy. Still, Pump and Noxy side by side. Noxy, a really aggressive force inside some of these end games. You have to kind of pay him respect if he is around you. He makes sure that if you go for an edit, if you are seen for even a moment, you will get hit. Unless you're fluid, you can dodge those shots. That's totally fine. Cam Sam, though, be careful. You're building up. You're going for the high ground play. Pyramid block there by Noxy's huge. Cheeky little play. And now he realizes he actually probably buffed Noxy here. Noxy checks around and says, whoa, there's an old base. This is mine now.
Noxy, though, not with too much ammo either. 21 down on that AR and only 42 ammo for the shotgun. He's going to have to hope that he did enough damage before that storm surge as we do get into these later zones right here. But with the height advantage, hopefully he's going to be able to get a few dings with his remaining ammo left. So many eliminations happening on the feed. And Par, he's just farming right now. He's aware how low he is on resources. And with another shot to him down to 59 HP, he's going to be having to use up some of those med kits right now.
I have no idea how he's going to be able to live this one. Punisher on his back wall. More people kind of pressuring from all sides. He has a mountain to get up and around with as well. Par finally going down at 30th place. Aiden finding some eliminations there as well. Pump not really getting any heavy elims, but he started this game at 103 points. He's pushed it up to 129. He is pushing forward in terms of consistency here. If he gets another top 10, he can push his lead so far forward. You know that faith is not in the game anymore. Aiden falls down too. Some of the top players in these leaderboards are not going to be showing up, and that means Pump can fly sky high.
I mean, just looking at, even like Noxy, who is the top competitor, just looking at their loadout, yes, Noxy has tons of heals, but, as far as ammo goes, I'm not a bit of a question mark on how they're going to enter these engagements. I'm hoping that they kind of go for some box fights so that they can get the mat refresh. But instead, holding high ground right now, 74 builds will give them plenty of opportunity to kind of hold it for a minute. Oreo here on the right-hand side, one of our top 10 competitors as well, looking all right. Ooh. I mean, they got mat builds, but not exactly what you want to see.
Oh, goes for the slide in and maybe try to get that finish over from the cracked player, but there were people watching all the way up top on height. Chug Jug, usually good to get you all the way up top on your HP. Only 60 HP for Oreo on this one. Now locked in from low ground. Kind of wondering how he got here. Was the greed just too much? He's surrounded by every player from every size.
Sky Jump, Yuma getting eliminations, Fago as well. All of the names that we've been watching throughout the day, making sure that they stay on top of the leaderboard. Cam making sure he stays on top of the lobby as he goes for high ground once again. Whoa. Using so many builds, but he's able to connect the build right there, preventing potentially being chopped from high ground. But he does have to be careful with only one wide tarps. That's going to be a lot easier for players to potentially take that high ground away from him. And we know that Pump is still in the game. Pump loves that high ground, so Cam does have to be careful. But I love the awareness that we're seeing from Cam right now, making sure that he's paying attention to the back of zone, which we know is where Pump likes his still high ground from, but also still getting these tags, still getting these shots on low ground. Cam is just controlling the high ground right now.
Yeah, he's just raising this lobby in half. Absolutely. Look at these beams from Cam in the sky. Pump force down. I'm not even sure if he's even still in the game. Going to be able to reconnect and not even take a look at damage right now. Ammo still looking good. Builds also looking good for Cam as he controls this game as it opens up towards the street down below. Off the mountain, Cam seems to be the GOAT, being sticky on these high ground builds for the moment right now. Still firing shots down to the streets below. It rattles off. It falls to the side of the road, and suddenly we're over onto the grass now as the zone keeps moving down the wood for Cam. 180 builds still left, looking for any types of beams from every single player. It's Fluid who takes this pressure again. Cam, what else can you find?
Wood builds are left and just 14 builds left. Elite Pump staying in the back of zone, actually. I'm a little surprised to see him not staying into the front of zone, but Cade getting elimination onto Sky Jump right there. Pump getting elimination onto Yuma. The front of zone is open. There's just barely any builds left, Shayo.
It's so tough. He needs to find this elimination fast. Cade can't get it. Escape from one of the sides. He opens up the top door and looks to see what he can find. Is it anything? Nope, not yet, but just a little bit of reprieve as he falls over towards another build. The follow-up is a silenced pistol. Cade has nothing for the moment right now. Chooses to tank the storm just a little bit, but people are aware of him all around. It'll be Black who comes through and ends up taking him down. Cam challenged for high ground, and look at him. Look at the plays, the brains from Cam. Just goes for the heel off play for the moment, just to survey what's happening inside the zone. And this is the perspective. It's Pump absolutely deleting the low ground. 158 points for the man before the game is even over. He's inside top 5. This is where the points start to go big. Almost 10 for every single player that ends up going down. If you get the elimination, farmed up a little bit, has a few more mats, just one more box, forced down below, and there it is. A few of his final builds. Another one we want to be taken. It's Cam that falls down, a whipped Pump. It's all good. He lets everyone else fight first. The positioning from Pump is perfect as he goes for high ground again. Somehow has it. Gets the first shot. The follow-up 2 is true. Pump is doing it. The back-to-back play has the mats to be able to go for this big spray. Misses. The first one is there for the response. The edit is there. Just one more as he's in control. Can't find it just yet. It's a little bit of a sneaky 1v1 this one, and it's okay from Kalski. What a shot towards the sky, but what a game from Pump on that one, Kelly. Basically, I would say a win for him in that sense.
I mean, watching him kind of just control the low ground, I love to see it. He wasn't going for the eliminations, which is something that I kind of expected him to do. He was actually staying in the back of zone, just trying to stay alive, because we know that these are probably going to be low elimination games like what we saw from games 1 and 2. So instead of elims, a lot of these players are going to be going for placement, and Pump just showed us, or CamSlam showed us exactly how to go for those placements. I love to see it. Obviously, though, we do have to give a big shout out to Calc there, going for the win. Elite Pump, though, proving that patience and virtue go really hard in the end game if you're just going to be controlling the low ground lobby.
Yeah, he kind of gave up his ego as well in that game. I saw in game 2, he was really pushing for high ground. He tried to knock Faith off of it a couple of times. And this one, he just drops all the way down to low, which is like just an amazing decision to make, especially with that mountain in play. That being said, the player we were watching all the way up top too, Kelly, like a highlight of this game, right? He was beeping every single person left and right.
I mean, I love to see it. I love to see we had our number 1 player, Faith, go down early in that game. And with just how that end game was going, we know that we don't fully are aware of who is going to be in our first place spot. Cade having a great job. We had so many of our top competitors remaining in the end game right there, Shio, and we've now finally reached the halfway point of our competition, which means with 3 games left, there's still so much that can happen.
Yeah, so much to happen. We'll be right back after a little break, so don't go anywhere. More finals right after this.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stays. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stays. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stays. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste.
here. It's going to be so much fun watching the PlayStation Fortnite Cup finals. It's Shio Wager, it's Kelly Link, and we've had some crazy games so far. Kelly, personally, I didn't expect things to be so stacked today, but now I can only expect greatness from these players.
Yeah, these end games are really surprising me. I love to see it. And just to let everyone know, we do have Pump still in first place now with 168 points, but a new second place challenger. It's Cade, who, not too much of a surprise, Shio. We've seen Cade constantly in our end game, going for 12 eliminations right now. In fact, we actually have 3 players that are tied for the most elims, which is 12 elims each, which honestly is kind of crazy that 12 elims is the most that we're seeing out of 3 games total.
I feel like we'd be ending up, seeing slightly more sometimes here and there, but you're right. Like, in terms of total, that is wild, because that's a good game for some players on aggressive regions when they have a tap on the meta, especially when things like when it comes to console. We saw all the way high ground. Not sure if it was Kalski or if it was someone else, but they were beaming over and over again. I want to see more of that.
Yeah, Calc definitely having a much better game, getting first place. We did see them get 4th place in game number 1, but game number 2 went down in 84th place. Definitely not the position you want to be in, but with these solo PlayStation tournaments, there's just so much that you can predict. So going down early is not too much of an issue, especially if you're able to recover the way that Calc did and get that victory royale. Soy Air grabbing a quick and easy elim onto Sane, saying, hey, if you're going to be landing over in Shining Span, get ready to get elim.
Every single time. If you would have to make a POI name yourself when it comes to the game,
ooh,
what is a cool double alliteration? If it was Kelly, if there was a POI called Kelly, what would be the
I would have a bakery that only sells carrot cake, and it would be Kelly's Carrot Cake. So that's a triple alliteration.
Okay, Kelly's Carrot Cake. I love it.
That's right.
Nice.
What about you, Shio? What would yours be?
Shy Shies. Just Shy Shies.
Okay, what do you, is it a shop? What is this?
It has to be called Shy Shies. Just
okay.
Land at Shy Shies.
What about Shy Guys? What do you have little like Shy Guys like around the POI?
I would have little what is it called? I'd have like little Ratchet and Clank things all the way around, or like little Yo Gabba Gabba people just littered around the map.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want it.
Shy souvenirs, and there's a bunch of just like IPs from different games.
I mean, this seems pretty appropriate for Fortnite that has every IP ever known to man. Picks going for true. Amp. Looks like they're running away, but nah, it doesn't really look like they're running away. It looks like they're still just farming up. Actually, the engagement though, Picks not going to let up just yet, but instead does let up.
It's true. That's true. I like the dynamic you get with these splashes as well in some of these fights, where if you pop them, your pickaxe speed is just so fast that enemies might not be looking at what's happening on their walls. The regular tempo you have just speeds up a little bit. It's kind of groovy.
A little groovy. Oaken trying to groove right here against Syaz. I like it. And another player entering the flow with Glow, but not too much engagement. As I say that though, a shot from behind Oaken, unaware because the player was able to sneak right behind him. Syaz though, just backing off again. Actually, I can't tell if they're entering this engagement or not, Shio.
I hear pickaxes. I see a second party coming in as well. I'm looking at Syaz take a lot of damage at the same time, so this is going to be tough. I don't think there's a chance for Syaz to live over here. Is this name Syaz Ospos as well? That's a reference to a different game. Not looking like Ospos for the moment, but he'll be dropped right now. Past that, Oaken needs to live for the moment for as much as he can, just because he is a little bit high on these leaderboards and these placements do come in a bit later. That being said, a lot of these players do want to end up fighting each other and getting that damage down. He didn't get too much damage down to our Ospos fanboy, but for now, he's going to disengage, look for his damage elsewhere. Maybe one of those surge towers we can't talk about.
Oh my god, you're gonna get me in trouble. Ario and Sky Jump here, just hanging out once again. It's one of those duplexes, you kind of live real close to your neighbor and you don't bother each other, even though they're playing their music really loud on the other side, so you maybe give a few bangs to the wall, but never really engaging. Swagger going up against Dorito, I think. I can't read these names. But Swag
Yeah,
taking
Dorito 1v2.
Let's go. Swag taking a shot right there. It's not over just yet, though. Going to be throwing down a blob to get a little bit of shield back. Dorito, though, the 1v1.
Not gonna find it just yet.
Not yet.
I mean, it's like they're taking turns like it's a turn-based game. This is crazy. I mean, what a description I just made for turns. Anyways, 88 players. It's getting sticky again in these games. Another person, Oaken, actually sneaking into this one.
Oh my gosh, I think he's going to get the sneak. Dorito, not aware. Swag, unbeknownst. Can Oaken actually get a shot, though?
He has to get inside these boxes. I feel like there's not a direct path all the way in, so we got to be waiting for it. Dorito trying to find his way up. Maybe he matches pickaxe swings with Dorito and no one notices that he's coming in. Like, gotta do some Ocean's 11 type of break-in, some creativity. But Oaken's just waiting. He's almost right behind him. Are they on the same team?
I mean, Dorito 1v2, you know, I feel like this is very, this is where Dorito, like, excels best. Oaken, however, gets triple partied, gets a few shots on him, and he's going to have to back off. Dorito now probably aware that there is a few other players in the midst of this engagement with Swagger. Oaken, though, not able to do too much here, and it looks like he's going to be stopping his sneak attack just for the time being.
Yeah, Oaken's game so far looking crazy. He's had so many builds to be able to use. Tries to go for this little sneaky play. Now he has no builds. He's damaged down. He's had to use his shields. Swagger can't try to, or he's trying to get away, but can't really get away for the moment. His build's just going down as he trades over his build count for Dorito's ammo count for the moment. This is crazy right now, but there comes the drop in. Dorito wants this fight too, so Swag back and forth, not really, again, fully committing to things. And because we've seen Swag go through brick now on wood, I think Dorito knows that he's low on these materials. He just has to keep up this pressure with the bullets. Not seeing Swag go for wall replacements as well kind of screams that, yeah, he's really kind of thinking about his builds, what he has left. 98 so far, and he's still trying to be loud and proud with the builds that he does have left, kind of showing that, hey, I still have lots of fuel in the bank. Don't underestimate me. Unfortunately, though, 2 more builds left. Dorito just has to fry through one. And that's it. That's all we have left.
All right, Swagger finally gets the edit in, trying to find another potential angle here to survive the Dorito onslaught. But as I say that, Dorito does take a few tags from another player, loses all of his shields, and now he's going to have to be popping a shield himself. Swag, after all this delay, goes for the aggressive, realizing that he can use his third party to his advantage. He has ammo. Dorito might not, but Swag backs off.
For the moment, he's using his builds like a jungle gym, trying to find a way to get in here and be able to play with Dorito, maybe get a little bit of a point on the board as well in terms of elimination. But again, doing a good job at moving around all these builds. Not sure what's his right now. There's people aiming in towards the sky nearby. It's tough for Swagger, and I think that Dorito's actually lost his position overall. So Swag carefully moving over. This pyramid edit is going to be fine for him for now, but a third player finds him 5 HP. Dorito is not going to be the one to get him. It's Sid all the way from across the map watching what's going down. Oaken is in brutal boxcars now. Like, what?
You know how, is it Dota or League of Legends where you can deny creep gold in EXP?
That's Dota, yeah.
I feel like maybe that's what we saw Swag doing there. By using all of their builds up, they're denying them like a mat refresh.
Ah,
yeah.
I see that.
Yeah, it's some deep strats right there.
It's deep strats. At the same time, Dorito's gotta just be able to go for a trade shot there. I know it's risky when you have no shields, but at least he gets to keep playing the game without mats pretty much. But let's see what happens. Throws, we don't really get to watch him in these early game moments really. We've seen him a lot in these rotates and then kind of towards the end game, but this is how his game starts. It's also kind of towards the span in terms of where he ends up moving after his POI. We do see Sawyer, who was in that first end game, and in the second one got a few eliminations. In the third one, no, I'm not really too sure, but as they say, fourth time is the
what are they saying?
charm.
Oh, that's
yeah. Fourth time is the better try.
That's
I gotta
right.
find a better saying for the fourth time, yeah.
And you know, maybe you tried to get into the PlayStation tournament and unfortunately you just were beaten out. Well, there's going to be more tournaments coming your way. Everyone, make sure to follow Fortnite Competitive as well as following on the PlayStation Network. Just all social media is making sure that you are fully up to date for these incredible tournaments that PlayStation's running in conjunction with Fortnite. We have a huge prize pool up for grabs right now. Our top competitor walking away with $5,000. So again, everyone, if you want to be a part of the action, just make sure that you're following PlayStation and Fortnite on all social media that you can keep in tune for our next tournament.
Absolutely. Want to make sure you're on the right social channels. Want to make sure you're on the right path to compete. Right now, for the players inside this game, they've signed up. They've gone to the finals. Their path is towards the zone. It's time to move, girls. It's time to move, Sawyer. But like rivals in a shonen, these guys cannot find a way to get past each other. They are just sticking side by side, no matter where the story tries to push them. So Throw's getting straight into the box, even though his teammates, I guess, at this point wants to disengage. Ooh, that side edit, or the 3x3 edit, not going to find much for offensive purposes, but a really nice tuck in by Throlls there to not get damaged overall by that shot. Sawyer now. We've heard the shield crack. We've heard trouble. He goes away, and it is Throlls that gets the elimination. So all that patience, all that time, worth it. But this time, Throlls doesn't have the mats to be able to play from this position. All of his wood gone is just half brick to play for the rest of the game.
Fortunately for him, though, it doesn't look like it's going to be too much of an issue swimming his way over into zone. The player over in Shining Span doesn't seem to be too fully aware of where Throlls is, and by throwing to, actually, as I do say that, he is going to be getting dinged, but fortunately going right around a little hill right there, blocking the vision from that player from Shining Span. Sindogo, a weird skin. I have never seen this before.
That's like a rose thingy.
It's giving me super Meat Boy vibes, but I don't think that is the correlation that we have. But farming up in Storm, a little bit of heals to his name, so not going to have to be too scared of that Storm damage. But now we can see Lone Wolf Lair off into the distance, the zone that he is looking to rotate towards. Hopefully going to be having a good dead side rotation there, so not having too many players in the western side that he was rotating towards. SLX, though, over in Demon's Dojo with a few other friends. Looks like a potential engagement happening right there. A shot comes out, but doesn't hit Solo. Able to turn around, build himself up. Doing decent on heals.
Yeah, he's got some aura to be able to move around this POI slowly. Meanwhile, Dorito, although he didn't get the pick that we saw in that big fight we were commentating over, he does find another one in the feed as this game goes on. Demon's Dojo, SLX might get the surprise drop down here onto Glow, but needs to get through a wood floor to be able to do it first. He's expecting maybe some expansion vertically up top from Glow here. And if that does happen, he will have the drop down with a shot towards the right side. But we switch over to the lobby leader so far, Elite Pump, who's won 2 games today, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, I'll correct myself because it was Kalski that got that final elimination in game 3. So a first place and a second place from Pump. And looking to maybe put a third on the board this time to get the gold, silver, and bronze achievement, I guess, you know, in the PlayStation Cup.
Yeah. I think that's like, you know, you get like a little one of those, what do they call them? Oh, not rewards, where you get a little bonus where you achieve some achievement. Oh my gosh, where you achieve something. Oh no, let's not talk about that. All right, Elite Pump doing a good job. Got 1 med kit for full heals. He is all the way over in Seaport City, but it's not going to be too much of an issue with the bat for those rotates. There is still a few other players, though, just trying to farm up anything they can over in Seaport City before they do make their final rotate over. And Pump just looking for some tags, probably. I know he's probably aware that there's a few other people here, and he thinks that this can just be some free, easy tags for him.
They'll try to go for it. No shotgun tags just yet. Ooh, there's 130. Good job for SLX there. Not much else to find. 74 alive. And honestly, if you're in these box fights, if you're going down game to game, and you're thinking, you know, if builds weren't a thing, if this was like a fighting game, I could do better. If it was sports, I could do better. Honestly, if I could just play a raw shooter in a tournament like this from PlayStation, I would have a better chance at winning. put your money where your mouth is, right? Put your time where your investment is. That's exactly what PlayStation is trying to host and have over their entire ecosystem of tournaments. We're going to have things like fighters, shooters, and sports. And signing up is just like signing up for this tournament. It's really easy. Straight from your console. It's seamless even. There are no seams. That's what seamless means. And it's something that I think that everyone should do. If you have a passion for any games, if you have a passion to shoot like Pump does, look at some of the other games that are available. It's happening all across so many titles all the time. And as well as Fortnite happening again and again all around the year. Man, we got a broad competitive ecosystem. That's something I can confirm and say.
Ooh. Big Phase Mongrel looking to shift up the ecosystem here at Brutal Boxcars, but going to be looking to forgo the engagement, instead go back into Storm for some ammo. Why not? Yeah, why not pick up a pistol, drop your better weapon, because there's probably more pistol ammo in the map, possibly.
I like it. Yeah, why not? Maybe he just wants to go for silence shots. Maybe he wants to look cool.
Oh, that is what it is. I think, and especially Oaken Gambling, one of our bigger names in the competition, standing in the way of Mongrel in the zone. Horizon on PS inside one of our black markets right now was able to get one of the mythic shotguns and got a nice AR as well. Probably purchased some splashes for themselves. Oh, Horizon on PlayStation. I'm going to say that that's what the PS stands for.
That is probably what the PS stands for, yeah. I'm wondering if the Horizon is due to Horizon Zero Dawn or something. I don't know. Either way, back play is not going to be there. Ooh. Swing and a miss. Strike one, right? If you swing, if there's no strike and it's not in the square, it's a ball.
Already seen Punisher punish some players going up against him, but doesn't look to be too interested in taking on Horizon right now because he's looking towards the Horizon into zone. Another prepping up for the swing, but does not go for it. Horizon just trying to get any kind of shots. He is 55 below, so he's just kind of wildly aiming at these players in front of him. Hopefully one of them gets in and can get that damage on the board for the damage threshold curve, looking for his first elimination of the game. Unfortunately having a little bit of issue. Horizon though goes on the aggressive and unfortunately does go down himself to Jargu. Still in Storm though. Zone right above them. Curve is not going to be backing off just yet. Does want to be taking Noise down, but with just 43 HP left, they are going to be having to disengage.
Yeah, right now every single player in Magic Mosses is looking for wins, not losses.
Ooh.
Trying to find a way to get inside this zone. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, so many trees in the way as well. We have another river separating things and blocking off rotations. I would believe only the south side of the zone's probably populated. Look at that curve. Random wall edit to look down in a fight that he has by himself, just being seen by someone across the map. You can't breathe here, right? This is like a strict parent-son-daughter relationship. Maximum grounding all the time. They're hyper aware as to where you are at all points. You can't move.
I was wondering where that was going, but then you brought it all together, and Curve trying to bring that damage threshold up all together now, 25 above, but that's probably only going to be holding him for so long. Now taking a look at Bikes, it looks like almost the entire lobby is below damage threshold, which would sound impossible, but it's not. Bikes taking a few shots onto Black Peo there. He's right next to Sid. Like to see Sid's name up in this competition, a player that we see in the FNCS qualifiers from time to time. Oaken Gambling, one of our big names, does get Swixy down in the Elam feed. But now taking a look at a new name right now, Vice, not the best shotgun ammo, not the best heals, not the best mats, but taking a quick jog, enjoying the environment right now as they make their way over into the most congested side of zone I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a pet under the table moment, or pet below the table, so I can call him an underdog. I mean, 5 points, gonna be tough to see him do anything for the moment, but hey, you get an Elam, you get some placement, there's just a few more people to go down, you could end up getting those points. Going down at this moment though, Bikes, you don't want to be in that position whatsoever. 51 left alive, unfortunately. Sindogo, no, we saw him farming. He is the 50th player to fall, or the 51st, I guess, so no placement for him. Big Weave will go down afterwards, and that zone is pushing even more towards the south. Maybe there's a possibility here. A lot of these players in the low ground are already in zone, actually have a build to go back to. So if that's the case, if we have a lot of pullbacks like this, the end game might be even more colossal with so many people having builds to be able to use.
Just taking a look at Cozy,
Upright.
a quick peek. Yeah. You know, over to Faith, who we saw go down a little early. They were currently our lobby leader after game number 2, but with going down early in game number 3, they're looking to reclaim their former spot in the first place over Pump. But Style now hanging over the cropping that we have right here. Potentially trying to find any kind of shots as these people do rotate over. Style in a good position to get a few tags, and especially being below Storm Surge, they are going to desperately be needing that. But this little hang off the edge of the mountain might be exactly the position that they need to be. Solary not in the position that they need to be, as they are at 50 HP. Able to pop a med miss, though, bringing them back up to full. Bikes 50-50 between shield and health. And also below. Everyone is below right now, Shio. Just something is going to have to shift in the next zone. Players are going to have to start dropping, or else we're going to have a lot of lightning.
Yeah, we need some damage. We need some damage from these players. Sitting here all the way in the back, still just chilling inside the zone. There's a bunch of players, I think. That brown arrow all the way at the bottom on the south side stayed inside zone this entire time. Probably had some damage from moments before. 24 below zone. Locks in. Yes, you're there right beside the zone, but you need to fight now. Bison, at the same time, it's metal builds all around you, so you probably would have wished you were on the other side where you could maybe move, maybe have someone to tango with, but no one here likes to dance. No one here's got two opposite-sided feet. It's two left feet in every single box. No one wants to really tango, and you slip and fall flat on your face in the middle of the dance floor. Unfortunately for Bikes, he's gone. No music anymore.
No one wants to tango, but maybe they'll Fago as we watch Fago right here. 0 eliminations and not too many builds, but with a quick edit right here, they're in a pretty good position to make their way into the front side of zone, but it looks like there's about half the lobby joining them, so this is going to be a bit of a tumultuous trade between him and Sunny right there. Just taking a quick peek. Maybe a potential shot right there, as he is 54 below. He is going to need just a quick shot. I don't know if he's going to be wanting to take that on to Sunny. Instead, Fago sees a Jaryu right to the right side of him, but just not much open for him to take a quick peek and a shot. Fago is going to be doing just fine, though. Now, with enough players down in the lobby, he doesn't have to worry too much about Storm Surge, but that might pop once again. Byla now, 2 eliminations already to his name, and now with a quick rotate with the bat, looking for some more elims from the low ground.
This is a Byla moment. We always see these Byla moments in every single game where he just ends up popping off. Might be a possibility right here. Here we go. No rotation just yet, but secure inside the box. You have to assume everyone around you right now is crazy, zombified, and rabid to get in and do damage. Everyone's gotten an update as to how much damage they're behind in terms of Surge, and they know it'll pop up as they rotate. We're going past this hill, by the way, through a river, all the way on even more low ground. So talk about a roller coaster that goes up and down. This is exactly that type of sinusoidal type function. For anyone in grade 12 math in the moment that's watching, big shout outs to you. Make sure you're doing your homework. That being said, these players have work to do in front of them. Stacks of Rooney, good spot in the middle of the zone, but where do you go from here? The possibilities.
Yeah, I was honestly, speaking of possibilities, thinking that Stacks had a possibility of being in our top 10. A little surprised to see them not having that kind of a play out for them, though. Fago, now 172 below Storm. When we looked at them, they were just 40, so not having the zone pull that they were hoping for here. Fago taking some shots onto Pump, the lowest that we've potentially ever seen them in an end game right here. This might be the opportunity that Fago needs to just grab some elimination, but instead, no mats jumping into the front of zone with a hope and a prayer and some splashes, which might help them stay to the front side of zone with these rotations. Great pickaxe, but not much to hold on to. Fago, please, you got to get some damage in here.
He's trying to trick or treat, but it's not Halloween. No one's opening these doors. There's no candy to be had. There's no chance for him to have any fun. Fago, though, is still alive. How is this possible? Low
it's
ground,
all tricks.
Yeah.
No treats.
Actually, this is so tough, but maybe there's some players who are also just as desperate trying to find him. Has a bit of reprieve, has an opening on Cam's lair, and Cam might rock right to him. I've been looking at him inside these builds as well, seeing that Fago's weak, but I feel like Fago knows what's happening here as well. As Pump goes down, the Stacks, you talked about it. Pump finally, his place been frozen as Fago goes for a few shots here towards the front of zone. Doesn't find much after the fact that he's able to jump all the way around and get towards the right side. No builds, but he seems absolutely protected. Where else can we go from here? The jump escalation, the buff that he had is gone now. We go towards the top side. Shadow, no cap. Shadow, no mats either from this spot. Last one is a pyramid, but is he as strong, as willing, as powerful as a Pharaoh on this side? Not really. overtaken by the storm. You don't see that one happen too much in the deserts, and he is left alone, dry, irritated in this moment. So he pushes forward and is dropped down to the sands below, lost over in time, just has some heals to rock with, where he tries to find something. I mean, now the zone's pulling again. You gotta get up a mountain. You're looking for any healing points if it's possible.
May not have amounted to much, but it looked pretty good. Con Art looking okay in the low ground right now, just trying to break down these builds as zone does start moving over. Beck just jumping right into his box, and then Elim on the board for Con Art right here. He's now looking to turn that into a little more as he's being able to break through these front side builds. But just no one is near him. Sunny now in the mid ground going for Doku, gets the elimination now for 2 for Sunny. High ground though, not much to be shown.
Not much pressure from there, much at all. Sunny is in a spot to have a nice little map refresh, understands his position of power, the resources that he has. The question is, does he want to stay on this layer or push for absolute height domination? He actually gets away for now, repositions all the way towards one of the other sides. Let's slip a little bit, so I'm not sure if this is the layer he planned to stay on. Jargu, big shot, and he needs it. Big refresh on materials as well, is able to just keep things alive and connect one tower to another. Now has the foundations needed to just do lots of damage down below, but look at the amount of builds, look at the amount of layers you have to tear through. There is no minigun, there is no TNT, it's just you, and I don't think that's going to be enough right now for the side of Jargu. He's not going to be able to find too much on this side, trying to just excavate fix right over there, but that's a fossil that'll be lost to time for now. Jargu still all the way up top, it doesn't matter, even if you don't have eliminations here, the placement points you get for every single person going down is monumental. He's not going to have much to drop all the way down in terms of control, but he will just negate that fall damage for the moment. There it is. Very nice drop there. 3 more players going down. Good patience from Jargu in this moment.
Jargu just holding high ground with no mats in such an artistic way, being able to drop down all these layers, goes for the shot, gets the elimination, and now going to be able to get the siphon right there. But can he use that to his advantage in these final moments? Has just a little bit of the heals. Con just below him, holding on to Storm as well, but he knows that there's only so much time. Able to get a little bit of freezing, but it is Jargu that gets the final shot there. Congratulations to the first victory royale for Jargu for game number 4.
Masterclass from Jargu there, from high ground, not having any match really, all the way down towards the bottom side, making sure he drops in for a really good elimination as well, then backs off, then goes back in again. I mean, that was perfect from the man.
That was amazing. If you are going to be in a shambles situation like Jargu was holding high ground, that is exactly what you want to see. When there's so much separation from high ground to even mid ground right there, so many layers, you kind of don't actually need to have too many mats. When you go down to wood builds in a single tarp, that's when everyone starts chopping you. But when there's so much chaos going on in the mid and low ground, well, no one's paying attention to high ground, so you're kind of able to take advantage of it.
And he absolutely did. At the same time, we talk about the prize pool, we talk about what we've been watching today, right? A game like that for Jargu, a game like that for Jay and some of the other players on low ground as well, it's just nuts. The highlights we saw this game, there's players taking their guaranteed $300 and turning it into $1,000, turning it now hopefully into even more money coming in towards the front portion, or I guess the back half of these games. Every single one of these games matter. Things like this for Shadow is huge too. Even though you go down, you want to make sure you're getting your points up. Jargu now in the triple digits of points as well. There weren't too many players. Only I think the top 5 was past 100 a game before. Now Jargu joins that club with many more in this instance now, but you want to make sure every single elimination counts and everything you're doing just pushes you forward. Again, what an elimination. Just the passion from Jargu, the decision making there from that man, insane.
Yeah, it's something that I like to frequently say. It's one of my crutches, being like, oh, well, so much can happen. We have so many games left. But Shayo, that's not the case anymore. We only have 2 more games left. So that opportunity to change things up, to shift things a little bit, that's not there anymore. You're going to have to stick to your plan right now. You're going to have to try and make sure, especially if you are already in the top 10 right now, which is where the chunk of the money is, that you're sticking to the plan. You're doing whatever you can right now. And these are the match results just from game number 4. We can see Jargu getting 75 points total, but I'm looking to Sid. 8 eliminations might be the most that we've had all day in a single game.
Yeah, Sid looks really cool on that come up. Lots of points there for them. 8 is huge. I think we saw 7 maybe from the side of Pump in one of the wins that he had, but at the same time, 71 points, huge from Sid to kind of get up those rankings, try to catch up to the rest of the board as we see what they can do. When we go to some of the 100-point players, I talked about maybe 5 or 6 people going to 100 points in that previous game. After match 4, after this result for the top 20 and beyond, we're looking at maybe the top 15, the top 16 being at 100 points, which is crazy right now. I mean, this is just nuts when it comes to the elevation of skill in this game, when it comes to the people catching up overall. Kelly, this is huge.
Whew. Yeah, seriously, this is exciting. Thank you so much, PlayStation, for putting this together, partnering up with Fortnite, and we have more tournaments coming your way as well. So if you guys love this action, if you love the suspense, well, make sure that you follow along on social media, whether that is through Fortnite Competitive or through the PlayStation Network, because we have way more coming your way. But just so much action, so much chaos going on in the end game there. I want to see a little bit more chaos in our early games. It's still a bit slow.
I mean, you've been seeing the Jenga tower shake a little bit, right? Like earlier on, there are a few more people going for faster fights. They're trying their hardest to make sure they get the damage on the board to maybe get ahead of the game in terms of Storm Surge. And, you know, it's sticking a little bit here and there. At the same time, it's taking a little bit of time for some of these players to lock that down. Quick shout out in this game as well to Conart9, who we saw struggle maybe in the first two games when it came to placement overall, but this time, you know, 53 placement points is huge. And you mentioned Cade before. Cade was towards the top side of the leaderboard as well, and I think it was top 3. This might actually push him over the top 2 now with this. You know, it's not the best top 10 game, but top 14 is not bad.
Yeah, just let everyone know through our overall leaderboard, it is Pump still in first place right now with 198 points, just 2 points shy of that 200 mark. Cade is in second place right now, jumping up just above Trix in third place. But for me, looking at the points right now, Pump is just 13 points ahead of second, but second is 24 points ahead of third. So it looks like our top 2 competitors between Pump and Cade are kind of jumping ahead of the competition right now. But the leaderboard, you know, there's so much money on the line right now. It's not just who gets first. It's not just who gets second. It's how far up the leaderboard can you climb to get all that prize money.
Yeah, seriously, and we have 2 more games to have that type of influence. You know, even if you're Pump, even if you're Cade on these islands, earthquakes can happen at any time, anywhere in the world. That being said, you got to be careful in these mid games. You got to be looking at what's going down. We got Mongrel there with a win, Pump in the business as well in match 2. Match 3 was Kalski, and then Jargu there in match 4. Out of these 4 wins, what's your favorite so far, Kelly?
Ooh, definitely Elite Pump.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like Jargus. What was it about Pumps that you like so much?
Well, I mean, he's an NA West player, and I'm always biased for West players, so that's, you know, I'm inclined to vote for him.
Hey, respects. I like that. I mean, shout out Jargu for me. Was a fun one. I really like the way that he had height, gave it up. I like when there's an ego involved in the play, and that ego is lost, and then again gained in like a 1v1 matchup. You end up winning.
I love that.
Follow the ego too. Yeah, 100%. 99 players in this one. And Jargu is the one that ended up winning that previous game. No problems for him.
Oof, yeah, landing over here in Lone Wolf Lair. It doesn't look like anyone's going to try and 50-50 him. But it does look like there is another player landing where he is, but they're going to be splitting over this POI, and that makes sense. Lone Wolf Lair's pretty big POI. You can easily split it, especially in a solo competition. But taking a few far shots there, Jargu not able to land anything just yet. But just starting things off at game number 5. We only have 2 more matches before we crown our PlayStation champion. And 99 players, Shio, if I'm not mistaken, it was game 2 or game 3 that you said, if that just happened to me, I would quit the tournament and you would only see 99 players in the lobby. Do you think this is that player?
I would never ever promote quitting the tournament, just going to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if the queues don't happen, the queues don't happen. So,
Fair enough.
But I would 100%. Yeah, you know what? Quit it. Forget it. If that's happening to me in the air, quit it and ship a sleep schedule, acceleration or something, you know. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe they're listening to the stream, and I'm so sorry.
Well, you know,
that's the case.
Fortunately, there's going to be more PlayStation tournaments in the future, so maybe this wasn't their tournament. Bam, you can sign up for the next one.
Yeah, and it's not Fortnite either. Compete.playstation.com. Again, that's compete.playstation.com. If you're Swagrix right now and you're done with Fortnite for the moment, you could choose so many other games, right? You lost off spawn, go check some other games out and see what's good. Maybe you rock it there while you wait for the next games to start.
What's a game you think you could enter a tournament for and get top 10?
The game of life, honestly. Not even the board game.
Oh my God.
Like the game of life and truth in real life.
I think it'd be more impressive for you to win a tournament for the board game of life.
Actually, that thing's so random. I'm not sure if going to college is the meta or like, you know, skipping it completely. It's always a puzzling question overall.
Right?
Yeah. What about you?
Ooh, I think I could do a pretty decent speed run of Toy Story for the Super Nintendo.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's a huge jump up.
Or for the PlayStation. I meant for the PlayStation. Yeah, Toy
That's
Story.
what I'm talking about.
Yep,
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts for the PlayStation 2. I could that one. Oh wait, no, Soul Calibur 2. If there was a Soul Calibur 2 PlayStation tournament, I think I could get top 10.
If we get retro with it, I'm totally. Is that like that is retro, right? At this point, because
Soul Calibur 2
as well.
I mean, it came out like 20 years ago, so yeah. I mean, what's retro to you?
I'm just trying to clarify.
I mean, you're making me feel old right now.
I'm not trying to point. I'm not pointing nothing at no one. I'm just looking for the terminology. Oh no. Still, Joxy. Where's that he throwed? Either way, a little bit of flames popping over from the floor. Joni, lots of defense we've seen before. This time though, from the top rope, Joxy's there, declined. Does not want to have this conversation as Johnny. He's not going to find too much here. Jackson's going to have to back off. Whiffy Wharf, rate this POI out of 10.
Oh, God, like a 3.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it a 4 just because the armored car is near it right now, and I really like the armored car.
True.
But Jaxie...
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. Oh, well, that's because they probably were able to eliminate the NPC that was on it, and they're able to use it themselves now.
Okay.
If they didn't destroy it. But Jaxie, looks like he's just farming, just chilling. Kind of doing his own thing right now. Day does go down in the leaderboard, and 87 players right now. This might be the most aggro we've seen in the early game.
You asked for it.
I did ask for it. So thank you, chat. And
yeah,
a little dark, a little gloomy right now. As Crypt again, very very fortunate name right there. Looks like they're kind of entering a crypt. These decrepit trees in the distance.
This is like a whole different game. Metal available as well. We turned back in with Noise, who was just kind of sitting on his lonesome in games before, not finding too much. This time, okay, finding a face to put his shotgun into. I love it.
Yeah. Outlaw Oasis off in the distance. As you can see, Vin here during a little bit of a fight, but can they turn that into an elimination? It's looking a little rough. No shields. Does get a shot off, though. Pretty decent there, but not backing off just yet. Boxing up and could be popping a mini right now. There we go. That's what I like to see, Vin. Efficiency.
And Nox will do the same. They'll go for the trade once again. Vin had a chance to end that fight a couple of times. Noxie now kind of running away, so we're going to prolong this one for the moment, but Vin should be there to maybe lock it in afterwards. Perfect build time for Noxie. And now this is tough. Vin can't really move as much without losing a lot of materials. He has popped a lot of materials to get towards this spot as well, though. So I don't understand. We're probably investing the rest of these mats towards this box fight. Stuck down at 84 again when it comes to players all across the map. The fighting has died down for now. Noxie also leaving the cliff, but Vin sees it happening, immediately moves over. Is going to look for the shot. I'm not sure if he's going to be in earshot of Noxie hearing him move this way.
Ooh, Noxie.
50 damage. Yeah.
I feel like Noxie or Nazi got a little got a little egoed there, right? Thinking, okay, I've pushed Vin away. They're not going to be chasing me right now, and does get tagged. And now Vin taking advantage of this high ground right now, just going to be going for some tags over in Outlaw Oasis. Doesn't make the hit, and now we're looking at Fago, Backtalk, and Dorito, some of our bigger names in the competition, all near each other. Dorito now down to 50 HP, able to get a splash off and another, so he's back up to 100 HP. Fago not looking for the third party just yet, but potentially going on the rotate, getting a few shots onto Backtalk there. Backtalk now getting third party. Looks like he's going to try and box up Dorito, going to be trying to go for the 1v2, and does get the elimination onto Backtalk. Thank you, Fago, as he makes his way out.
Yeah, Fago's just kind of like the watcher, right? He just wants to make sure everything's going fine in all these fights. Sometimes he gets stealthy and goes up close, tries to get a little bit of damage off, but not this time. We do see Dorito, as you beautifully commented there, Kelly, by the way. This amazing fight. Yeah, just insanity on both ends of the audio and the visual. Dorito, good job. We'll keep it coming.
Can I just say how nice it is, Shayo, to be working on Fortnite with you again?
Hey, thank you. It's a fun game.
It's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute, honestly. But everyone's elevating. It's a good time to be alive. Fortnite also. I mean, I took a look at the map. I took a look at all the weapons. I'm like, this is not the game that I left. This is definitely a whole brand new beast. Checked out some of the videos from a lot of the creators as well, looking at the meta and whatnot. Tuned in with some FNCS, tuned in with some other PlayStation Cups. It's a really fun time.
Yeah, Fortnite's doing well. We had a really interesting FNCS just last weekend, actually, the finals coming down. And, you know, I mean, EU, you had the crazy Vino plays where he pulled up the teeny strat, dropping in a new POI every game, which is not the most common strategy that we see, especially in the finals. And then, of course, Peterbot, Cold, Ritual claiming their first place spot back in North America again.
That's nuts. Oh, I love it. It's so much fun. A lot of these players are emulating, or if not, are playing in these games as well, right? Like they want to either have that title, or they're the same players that want to expand their kind of legacy into different tournaments all across the realm of Fortnite. But yeah, honestly, so much fun to watch, and you guys do such a good job with the product. It's lit.
Ooh, Jaxie though going down, not that lit. Droney feeling a little bit better. As we saw him earlier on trying to get into an engagement, finally getting that elimination scare, just slowly following Glow from a distance, not taking any shots, just kind of admiring.
Just keep it chill for now. Yeah, I feel like this endgame, no matter where it's ending, should be a little bit more lax for a lot of these players. That being said, placement's still about 28 players away. So we gotta lock it down and wait for now. Back to Pumpo's got 2 chug jugs.
Nice.
300 AR bullets.
Nice.
And a surge tower. That's crazy.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Those chug jugs definitely going to be helpful. It looks like he's probably going to be sticking to Storm a little bit with a little bit of a later rotation as these Seaport players start making their way through. It is going to be a Northern Magic Mosses zones, which we saw plenty over the weekend during the FNCS finals. So nice to see it making a comeback once again. But Elite Pump with those 2 chug jugs definitely going to be setting themselves up pretty. And I love it. This rotation into farming has almost full mats. They are in a primed position to be controlling high ground like what we saw them do earlier. Par, though, not in the most primed position.
Not right now. And if you just looked over to the left, he might have a very free elimination, but Pump not going to be able to find Par, who was moving in with nothing. Absolutely nothing towards the left side. That's unfortunate. That's kind of unlucky. Par gets away. The timings we've been looking at for some of these players, just crazy the way the things are getting away with. Elite now, or yeah, should I say, chasing for a little bit more, is able to lock it down at the cost of a lot of his life. So you can say sayonara to Saiyan. And after that, almost Elite's life as well. Good catch.
Oof. Was a good catch. Yes, sir. Not backing off just yet. But the drum gun, is going to be able to spray Yasir away, and I think Yasir is kind of aware of that. It's like they're backing off right now. Pump. We find the armored car Cade has, and not really even bothered by a moment. Pump backing off of even trying to take a few shots, realizing the futility in it. We do have Par, the player that we thought Pump was going to be able to get a shot on, rotating over on the left side, and Pump had to have seen that box, had to have been aware that there was a solo player in it. And it looks like he's not backing up just yet, going for those shots onto Par, but can he get the elim? Unfortunately, no, but still going on the aggressive. Pump is going to be chasing. How many mats is he going to be using for this engagement, though? That is the question. As we know, Pump does like to be able to control the high ground in the endgame, and by using up these mats for this fight, that might be a bit of a slippery situation that he puts himself into.
Yeah, it's all about win conditions for Pump. He understands, hey, Par in front of him is boxing up in a 1x1 wood box. That is fire to water. That is like electricity to ground. It is weakness. That is literally just weakness. But in a sense, it's fine. His win condition is winning the entire tournament. So if he can go for Par for free, if it's inside the zone and the fight doesn't escalate too far, he'll try to dabble with it. And he does right now, making sure to kind of keep his wave and approach not centered towards the gas station or the middle of the map. Par does come back up to take a few shots, but again, Pump's win conditions. He's 10 points ahead, 15 points ahead almost of the person who's in second place. He's first overall in the tournament right now. He does not need to fight. He needs to live. He just needs some damage, and he needs to live. Meanwhile, Cade, second place, right behind him. We did see him pass by with that truck before. He is gone now towards the north side of the map, and he also just wants to live and get his eliminations a little bit later into the game. He also wants to be up on speed, so he ditches the car and elects to run with that bat.
Maybe he just leased it and his lease was up.
Ran out of gas, maybe, who knows? Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I can do that. I mean, gas prices, you know.
Let's have like a 2-day lease, you know? It's the whole thing. I wonder how much that would cost, actually. Anyways,
a 2-day lease for the armored car? You know, probably like 200 gold.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Lone Wolf layer. Not so Lone Wolf right now. In fact, it looks like it's a full pack as Zone is pulling over to this kind of northwestern side. Lots of players going to have to be finding their way over, and with a little bit of verticality for Lone Wolf layer, it's going to be very hard for those eastern teams to rotate over. The Big Phase Mongrel isn't going to be having an issue rotating up on Rift Island. That is until he has to leave, and then there might be a few pot shots coming his way, but currently chilling in the bush as we love to see it. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing too much on Rift Island as far as going for the NPC. But Rift Island is more than just the medallion and the weapon. Of course, you can kind of refarm up some of the mats that you used making your way over here, and that is exactly what we're seeing Big Phase Mongrel doing, as well as taking a few shots onto Droney, who found their way up there as well. But yeah, kind of chill. You know, Shogun X just hanging out there.
Trying to look for something, but not finding much to dash to. And the cool thing about this is that this is the 4th place POV. Only around, what, 40, 30 points behind. If Pump ends up going down outside the top 10, and Big Phase Mongrel gets like 2 kills in the top 10, which usually if you're in the top 10, you're getting some eliminations, right? It's big chilling. He's going to end up catching up really, really fast. If Pump does not stay consistent, and other people around him in the top 10 start to thrive, this game can still go any which way. One elimination inside the top 10, if someone else is elimed, it's a 10-point catch-up. You do that again and again and again and again. I mean, listen, I know 8 is high. I don't know what that was from Zion.
We're not gonna talk about that.
There we go. Sometimes you're in the corner in a fighting game, you throw some buttons out. They don't work.
Have you been playing a lot of fighting games recently? You keep talking about them.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing analysis for some fighting games, and I've been like, that's my first, like, one of my first true loves in terms of games in general. Yeah.
Did not know that.
FGC coded.
Oh,
I have a lot of it in my blood. Yeah.
I'm going to an FGC tournament in a few weeks.
Nice. Let's go. That's awesome.
Speaking of tournaments, we're watching the PlayStation tournament right now, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's been so sick so far, honestly. It's kind of a flagship moment in Fortnite in general, right? The PlayStation Cup is kind of like, it's something for players to look forward to in the Fortnite comp season. And it's one of the biggest prize pools in general. Once again, $62,500. I might even be wrong about that one. It could be 64. We got to big confirm it as we go back. Oh, it's 62. It's 62,000.
You were right. You should believe yourself.
$500. I got to believe in myself, just like Vago believes in himself as well. 161 points. I believe he's in 3rd place overall right now. So he's staring at first right there, sitting side by side with him. This basically is becoming a solos FNCS. This is kind of crazy in terms of theme.
Oh yeah, and I mean we you know the season's over. A lot of opportunities for players to be able to win some money at the end of the season is wrapping up right now. So having the PlayStation Cup right now, a lot of these players are looking to prove themselves, especially a lot of these FNCS players. A lot of our top competitors trying to just, you know, put their name on the board, prove to themselves that they deserve a top spot. They deserve the credit, the ego. Con Art with 74 damage below threshold, though, not having too much of an ego against Yuma. He knows Yuma is there. Cam Slam also below Storm as well. But we've seen Cam Slam in worse spots before. I believe he's going to be able to make a recovery, especially with Sammy stuck in a box right here. But the lightning is starting to come out. Cam is going to have to make moves now if he wants to stay in the game.
Yeah, 71 players still left alive when it comes to placement. He's so far away. 19 still need to go down. He needs this shot here, and it's huge. I don't think it's going to be more than 50 damage, though. Unfortunately, I think that player also succumbing to Surge, so his HP total going down means that Cam over here is not going to find too much. There's no shields in the box either.
No heals, no hope. But still, there's a few players nearby with an opportunity to just get a single shot. Khan now just 10 damage above. And by being in this kind of dead side of zone, they're going to be able to get just a few moments to farm up any possible items that have been left over here.
Insane they found that big randomly down below too. Has a launch pad to be able to use as well when it comes to rotation. That might help everyone. That being said, will he live long enough to hold on to it is the question. His mats are there. The loot needs to catch up. Dyer gonna move on this one as well. Not gonna find much just yet. 34 below, needs to get a little bit of damage on. Needs to have the action before the lights and camera for now, but we're looking at a different movie, a horror movie for Khan over here. Has some cool builds, a box as well, an opportunity. He lets it go. It was not his moment, and afterwards he'll have to desperately chase this one now. 51 below. The launch pad might be lost inside the storm. I'm not even sure if Amp's gonna be able to find it this time. He's just mining up. He's going over and over again. Finally, we see a layer change in terms of just horizontal coordinates from Amp. Drop back down. Khan, you're on a time limit still. 41 below. 70 damage. Is able to track even more, but he goes down and Amp has the launch pad.
That was a great play by Amp there. DR gonna have to pull out some great plays of his own if he wants to beat out Storm Surge. A med miss right there in his eyes, gonna be able to get just a little bit of a heal off, and the siphon there. DR now above threshold, having a pretty good turnaround right now, getting 2 eliminations and all this damage in just a few short moments. Now taking a quick look at Dark right here, also below Storm Surge, but only 5 damage is there with so many players around them. You'd have to hope that there is just going to be an opportunity for them to just get one single tag, one shot onto another player before it is up. But when Pump is the player that is closest to you, that is not the position that you want to be put into. Pump doesn't even look like they care, while CR is doing everything they can to be able to break down. I'm wondering if Pump can see that the lightning's there. They don't have to worry about the elimination, and actually it's Sindogo that's able to get the final elimination onto CR. But Vin, taking a quick peek, taking a quick look at the players on the other side of zone, that congested side. Everyone is going to have to be making their way over to Vin. So hopefully going to be able to get some eliminations. And Baked Pug does go down, and it is to Vin.
That was like 1 second up in the air, and he is gone. This is a ruthless lobby. They smell blood for a second. They jump up. They chomp down. Vin's going to make their way through. Still close to zone. Not too much craziness here. Placement about to get dealt out in just a second. One more person needs to go down. Big Wee again, so close to top 50. I think that's the 3rd time I've seen Big Wee go down right before the top 50. That has to be tough. FaZe and Dino not gonna make it either. Zilo goes down in the storm. Stacks are Rooney still up in the business. Does take down Scarce and Dogo. Getting some of their first placement overall in the tournament. Is able to find a Neelam as well right beforehand. We saw it on the DR, and now we are rocking in with Sindogu kind of in the driver's seat. Skin switched up. Shot there and followed up as well. Huge. But now we have to move off the cliffs, off to a beach, and then back on to land again. This is an insane zone, Kelly.
It's an insane zone and an insane loadout. If he actually uses that plasma rifle, I will be so happy, but oh yes, and he uses it. Okay, that's all I asked for. You're listening to me. I don't understand how you have the feed, Sindogo, but thank you. He gets the elimination with it? What?
Yep.
What? I appreciate you so much, Sindogo. My goodness, 2 eliminations on the board. He immediately drops the weapon. He's like, listen, I got an Elam with it. I don't need to ever carry that thing again. And he's still looking for more right now, but instead backs off a little bit, says I'm going to be going in for zone. And look at that pole. He has a long way to rotate. Pump already making his way over there. And with the bat, he is doing it in such speed.
Ends up stopping for the moment here. Can't really get it out up top. Lets one person pass by. I like these pauses, these kind of abilities and moments for a lot of these top players to see what's going down around them. That being said, coming in through late, yes, you use less mats. That being said, there's other people who are already boxed up, looking at what you're doing, tracking where you're going. It'll cost you heals to make these moments, to make these movements. And here goes Pump again, and there it is. More shots to him. He's using that chug jug instead of his mats right now, and he needs to get up top on this bridge. That is the scariest thing. Is number 1 goal, and he goes straight into the box. Pump refreshed on almost all materials. Has an extra spot for his mats as well. Gets a better bat. Gets some minis. That it might be the game-winning play from Pump right there.
I literally was about to say, like, wow, this is the worst we've seen Pump in his position, and then immediately gets the elim in the refresh. But DR looking pretty good. 3 eliminations now on his docket, up on the high ground just a little bit. Zone 9 now, as we're going to see the first moving zone. Doesn't look like DR is too concerned, though, about controlling high ground, and especially with 24 builds, I think that is the appropriate play to make. Looking now on SLX here, the Mythic Shotgun, hoping is staying in the front side of this mid ground, is going to be able to kind of make another quick rotate, control the front side of zone. He already has 5 eliminations. By staying in the front side of zone, he is going to be giving himself so many more opportunities for more eliminations here. But how he's going to be able to continue this movement is really what's going to be shaking. Oh, what a great way to just top yourself off. A little bit of a risky spot there, but Shio, I think that's a pretty positive outcome.
Positive outcome, but I can see the nerves in this man as he's playing. Miss edits left and right. A box, but it's like kind of halfway into the ground. We want to elevate over here. We want to maybe just get into a spot that's a bit better overall and breathe. Make sure you're making the right decisions. Yes, 5 elims this point in the game. You do not need any more. You straight just want to play this placement as much as possible. Maybe get a free shot on someone jumping into your box. But again, a flip up on trying to move in and placing the floor. It'll be tough to see exactly what he does. We look at first place, though, breaking 200 points. Pump pushing the spearhead forward when it comes to the overall podium inside this entire tournament. First place gets higher and higher for Elite Pump. Stealing what looks like someone else's med miss inside the zone. He has to move now. The bat is able to get him to play all the way forward. Another shot taken again. That'll make the placement come so and throw even faster. Pump is still moving, staying on this layer, dropping down 1. It's all good, taking lots of damage, but he's got the mass to still live.
Wow, that honestly, even though he wasn't able to hold high ground there, didn't get elimination or anything, that was really smooth from Pump. The recovery there, that's what I love to see. He is now low on health, though. He is low on mats, but still sticking to the end game, just trying to survive right now is the name of the game. So if Pump isn't able to get these eliminations by just surviving, he's doing everything he can. Amp, though, one of the best players that we saw from the qualifiers, now finally stepping up on the high ground with just a few builds to his name. But look at that loadout. It's only a few heals, but he's got those weapons. He's ready to spray down onto Jargu. Doesn't get the elimination, but he's just pushing everyone away from him. No one is going to be able to steal high ground from him. And as that lobby does start kind of condensing into each other, Amp is just going to have more and more opportunities to spray the rest of the lobby. But Shio, it's down to the final 2 builds. The rest of the lobby on the low ground. We see Pump go down just a little bit early too. So much can shake up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, if there are any people towards that top 5, this is where you start getting the elims. This is where you start locking in. Amp trying to make that big jump forward. Can't really get it, but does connect over towards the other side. No builds here. Has to just suppress people down with these shots. No support, just damage from Amp. And he does find his feet on even ground, on some footing. At the same time, everyone else has to make it up the mountain. Alba in trouble. Top 7 situation. Amp on a knockout elims right now, but he's forcing the placement points to come straight to him by making this game an absolute bloodbath for people to move forward through. It's just a hellscape here on height. He's gonna heal for the moment, going just for the max HP before his final all-in. Alibest falls down for the moment. Shiny shafts in the distance as a lot of these players looking a little bit rusty in these spots with no builds. 500 for Alba, though. He can really push for height. He's making sure he gets up, edited down, though. This is trouble. So many maps to be able to play with. He goes towards the zone. It's genius from Alba. He has so many materials. He has to go towards the top. Vedits does get 1 pick, 100 builds to still be able to work with as everything ends up falling down. Low ground can have a little bit of an advantage for now in terms of builds. Vedits has to get a bit more premium in terms of costs to keep this high ground. He's going to just stay on 1 layer for now. So 1v1v1. Jargu already has 1 win under his belt, looking to maybe even take the first place slot all the way here inside the tournament. Vedits gonna not be the one inside that elimination. It's Jargu, gets 20 more points almost from that one. It's still rocking in. Vedits going back for the heal off. He goes all the way into the zone.
Ooh, finally getting a healed off. Jargu, though, going to try and stop Vedits if he can, and it looks like he's going to be able to get it, but he turns around and Vedits gets the victory royale. Congratulations to Ved, a 3 elimination VR, but still Jargu trying everything he can in those final moments. That's what I want to see. And with just 1 game left for our PlayStation tournament, Shio, all bets are off. Anything can happen in this final game.
Pump went down early, Jargi already having a win, is in a second place again, got eliminations. We saw crazy elim total 6 and 5 coming in towards the end game as well. So Lord knows how many elims those guys ended up getting. It's a big shakeup now. It's a blender of a situation inside the PlayStation Cup, and that's the perfect, I think, spot for a game 6.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to look at our leaderboard. I can't wait to see who is going to be up on top. And even though Pump went down, I say early, it was like top 15, which is still a pretty good amount of placement points. I'm guessing we're going to see him on the top of our leaderboard. But before we can even look at that, Shio, we've got to look at the highlights. And there was so many good plays in game number 5. But of course, I feel like Storm Surge is the real MVP. These poor players are having to do anything they can, whether that's having heals or entering these unfavorable engagements just to stop Storm Surge.
Yeah, I said if Storm Surge was a player in some of these tournaments, it would have the most elims and win every single time, honestly. It's crazy. And this one, though, you asked for it, Kelly, right before we started the game. It was, what are we looking at in this one in the game 5? What do we not have so far? And it's that crazy early game. We had so many people getting active on the map. We had some people walking in with 5 elims before these zones started to even rotate themselves as well. The highlights for this game were definitely different compared to the rest of the entire matches we watched during the day. Again, shout out to Vedix. We saw in that game 1 have a very good launch, a very good start to his day. Kind of went tumbling down. This time he learned from his mistakes, got towards that top spot, secured the first place as well. So that's really good to see, because it's not only the first place spot, it's not only that big $5,000 at the top, right? It's all about looking at everything else as well. It's looking at trying to make it from, a guaranteed 300 to maybe the top 25, getting that 1,000 overall too, right? If it's the top 25 or even more so. We'll look at the pricing in just a little bit to make sure we correct all the monies and terminologies.
I was just looking at it. The top 10 are going to be walking away with at least $1,000 each.
That's 1,000, nice.
But getting into top 5 is when you break into the 1,250, and then of course, really the top 3 is where the money starts making huge differences. First place walking away with $5,000. That is what I want to see. And it looks like Pump has his eyes on the prize right now for that first place spot. But it's not done yet. I think that there is one, potentially 2 other players that could possibly steal that first place away from him.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're trying your best no matter where you are right now. The total prize pool of $62,500, it goes deep. So even if it's the game that you're playing for the 6th time, you've kind of, lost it off of spawn over and over again. If you have a really good game so far, we've seen 71 points, 80 points be an average game. If you have a really good game in this one, you can get towards that triple digits in a single bound. You could be the Superman of this lobby and lock in. You could get more money than you're coming in with right now. And that's the aim of the game, right? To be competitive, to have that integrity, to play inside this PlayStation Fortnite Cup. Kelly, so far today, it's been so much fun going through these 5 matches. We've got 1 more on the docket left so far. When it comes to this season, when it comes to these PlayStation players, what are we thinking as we get towards, looking at this leaderboard as well? Are there any names that are standing out for you in this one specifically?
Ooh, well, definitely Jargu. And we've been watching him throughout the entirety of this PlayStation tournament. So to see him finally get the victory royale, I love to see it. 6 eliminations is pretty decent, especially in these finals. That's what we typically see here. And obviously, if we're looking at the match 5 results, in a, opposite sense, potentially negative, Pump going down in 12th place. Not the best position he wants to be in, especially when he's trying so hard to hold on to that first place spot. But still, he wasn't in a good position. We saw that all throughout the mid and late game. So the fact that he was still able to make it into the top 12 is quite impressive. But another shout out, Alba in 10th right there. I love to see these players jumping into the top of our leaderboard. And hey, finally, our overall results, top 10, a 37-point lead over Jargu. Pump in first place.
Yeah, that's just insane. Looking at these players back to back, Jargu 205, getting that elim towards the end as well. 15 total, so they're kind of both sitting on that 3 elim per game average, which is kind of nuts when it comes to just the format and how tight it is right now. Yeah, it's insane. I would assume there'd be even more right now for these players, right? I pointed towards the 20s and 30s, but everyone else is just kind of locking in, making sure they have what they need to make sure they have good placement in these games. Cade, Mongrel, Faith, Oreo, we're not seeing too much of them in these end games, Kelly, but they're kind of staying consistent in the top 20, the top 30 every single game.
Yeah, and with it being a solos competition, obviously, there's just only so much that you can kind of follow and pay attention to. So to see Faith, who had such a good game 1, then kind of go down a little early in game 2 and 3, make this recovery, that's what I love to see. It's less, for me, what makes a top competitor isn't what they're doing right. It's that when things go wrong, what do they do? These micro adjustments, how are they able to kind of revolve around that and evolve, I should be saying. Pump versus Cade, our first versus third place players here. The average eliminations, as you said, Shio, 3 for average eliminations per match, but it's the total elim points that's really making Pump's game.
Yeah, and this is that last game that makes or breaks a bunch of the players, and that bus is already gone, and we see the entire drop side or the drop map for every single player on each and every side of the Fortnite island. This is it, Kelly Link. This is match 6 for the PlayStation Fortnite Cup Finals. It's going to be crazy in terms of the money that we're handing out and the level of competition we're about to watch in this one.
A little sad, Shio. You know, it's been a few years since we've been able to be on a broadcast together, and it's almost over. I'm also sad because Bikes just went down a little early, and so did Oaken. Oh my goodness, Teeny already shaking things up here in the lobby. Noxie getting elimination as well, but yeah, back to the sadness. Shio, it's a bittersweet moment. I'm excited that we get the thrilling conclusion of our PlayStation tournament, but I'm also a little sad that it's almost over.
It's almost over, but don't forget, you know, we can play all year when it comes to PlayStation. This is not a one-off, right? If you're a PlayStation player, you can win prizes in the Fortnite tournaments literally all year long just from your console. You don't have to go anywhere else. I mean, PlayStation is making this so easy. And for me and you, Kelly, who knows, right? If there's more of these all year, maybe I'm back all year. You know, maybe you're back all year. This doesn't have to be a final goodbye.
That's true. That's true. And even if we're not back, chat, you guys can be a part of this. If you want to involve yourself in PlayStation, Fortnite, or any other game, really, please follow on all social media through PlayStation or Fortnite Competitive. There are so many more opportunities coming your way, and I love to be a part of it. I love watching you. I love all the funny stuff you guys do. So please keep jumping back into the game, jumping back into these tournaments. I really appreciate just all the involvement from everyone around. It wouldn't be possible without you guys.
Facts. Can't have a tournament without players. Can't have players without the tournament. You know, it's the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
Ebb and flow.
That was like
Bars.
philosophical.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but
You do that with any 2 words and it sounds really majestic.
Yeah.
But I'm not leaking more of my tech in terms of sounding smart when knowing nothing.
I've
Let's
tried
jump in with
so
Pump.
hard. Honestly, I've been trying to just emulate you every time I'm on the broadcast, and I can't because I can't be you. But I've been working on it.
Hey, if there's anyone who can, it's Kelly Link. That's the truth.
Oh my god.
That is the truth, yeah. I find this to be the most mesmerizing part of the game, by the way. I would honestly only land at vault locations just to break in.
No, and it's really, I didn't realize at first until I, started playing the game a little bit more, but like attacking the little like glowing parts helps the vault break down faster, which makes me really excited. Taking the bat and breaking all this gold is really fun. Yeah, no, it's the game's in a very fun state right now.
Yeah, absolutely love it. They got the cool action music going on as well. It feels like I'm really important. So, man, they're locking it down.
It's awful. That music plays so loud when you're playing it, and you can't stop it from playing. It just does it automatically.
I'm jamming. It's the best. Chuck Splash is here as well, or Slurp can. Wow, I actually forgot. That's horrible.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Shia,
Wow.
where have you been? Have you even played Fortnite?
Slurp canisters? Oh, Gordity. Hello? Snipers unvaulted? What was that? Swags, that man went down in 2 seconds. What just happened? Slurp canisters. And they're canisters, no?
What are you even? Oh, the Slurp barrels?
Barrels. Nah, man. There's no way they're barrels.
I didn't even know
There's
what you were talking about at first.
I
Like, what is
disagree.
a canister? Am I? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm fairly certain
That's
they're
Spider-Man. What's Cam doing? This guy is just floating on a rail. That's crazy. Assassino. That's wild. Pars is here now. We have a Par and a Pars. Nice. I haven't seen too much of him. 23 points, but he's one of the players that wants to get towards that top 10 threshold. Maybe change his destiny here. Get a little bit higher.
Is this the Pars from Baka and Pars? I don't know. I can never tell anymore. It's too many people have the same names as other pros, but I think this might be the real Pars.
It's crazy. I haven't had that issue in a long time, and it's like one of the best things ever. random need to just share that. But honestly, if I'm looking at this now, just call them pars. Give them the clout. If they want the clout, give it to them, you know? That's pars. Any Booga I see is the real Booga. I don't care.
It's funny you say that because Batman Booga did finally change his name.
Really? I thought he had the biggest brand with Batman. Like, he was literally Batman Booga.
Yeah.
Like he superseded Booga at one point. No, he was outplacing Booga on average.
Yeah, and he just did. He outplaced Booga again this last weekend. But yeah, he's Higgs now.
He's Higgs now?
Higgs.
Higgs, yeah, like Higgs, but like H-I-G-G-Z?
Yep, or H-I-G-G-S.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Shout out Higgs. Keep it rocking. Hopefully we see him in one of these PlayStation Cups as well. It'd be very nice.
Definitely watching Big Face Mongrel, as you guys might know him as King Cringe. And he's definitely feeling a bit royal right now. He's currently sitting in 4th place, but obviously he's not happy with 4th. He wants to go for that 1st, 2nd, potentially 3rd place spot. Faith, 173 points right now, also in our top 5 contention. But with this zone poll going more south, Faith is going to have a bit of a rotate, but we can already see over in Flooded Frog, so there is just no one in Faith's way, so this should be pretty smooth sailing as far as rotations go. It's going to be free farming up as we make our way over into the 1st circle. Kind of chilling.
Yeah. 80 players locked in. If you're going on a walk like Faith right now, are you like a nature walker or are you like a roll the community sidewalks walker? Like what's the...
Ooh, I'm both. I know that's a lame answer, but yeah, I like to do hikes, but I also like to take my bike and just go downtown and then walk around there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That guy's ATV's flipped. You should help him. That's crazy. Just ignored him. Not fair. Is this music on the entire POI?
It's just near the vault. But
it's
yeah,
playing right now.
Yeah, no, once that vault's activated, that's there.
I like that decision.
Oh,
let's keep it rocking, Swexy.
Hey, getting a little bit of the canisters.
Chuck barrels.
Huh?
Yeah, no, they weren't canisters. They were Chuck barrels, weren't they?
Yeah.
They look like canisters, man. I swear. It's been that long, huh?
What is a canister if not a large barrel or a small barrel, right? Yeah. Ooh, all right. We got the sneaky strat coming out of Big Face Mongrel. What? Just the
111, 79.
Goodness,
shotgun only challenge.
Oh, and the drop down. So lucky to have that right there. It looks like Big Face Mongrel is going to be backing up, but that was so close.
Oh, he's going back down. Look at the tracking.
What?
Look at the moves. Shoot him. Shoot him. Why?
Why? That was about to be the coolest thing I've ever seen. And instead, that's what we get. That's okay. That's okay.
It's because God is generous. And right now, right there, Face Mongrel, God of that POI. So he's a little bit of mercy. Let him live.
See, for me, I thought it was because his name is King Cringe, and that fight made me cringe a lot. But still plenty of opportunity. Back talk here, going on the aggressive with Glow. There's so many players right around here, but gets styled down easily. Dorito also getting elimination as well. Onto
something on the map as well. What is that on the map? Is that a safe or?
No, that's the porta potty. So when you go through, it teleports you to different parts of the map.
Back in my day, they weren't on the mini map. Back in my day, you had to learn about the porta potties yourself. Back in my day, people were pooping on the competition. Back in my day, that's crazy. Little box guards.
Back talk, trying to get the shot there.
Yeah, it's tough. Jumps in and gets rattled down. No way.
Back talk with 3 eliminations now. And look at those heals. Look at those mats. They are ready to go into the end game. And that is going to be a beautiful center zone as far as I can tell from zone 3 right now. So everyone has an opportunity here. Or maybe it's a little bit western now that I'm looking at it. But back talk, not done just yet. Going to be grabbing even more heals and that great pump, just in case.
I started this one with 29 points in total, I believe. So any type of points are going to be good for him. And to put it into context, we watched a lot of back talk. And we watched a lot of back talk when the zone was getting small as well. He just has never lived past that 50-point threshold over and over again, right? So without getting any of that placement, unfortunately, 83rd, 97th, 69th, 34th, and 76th. You gotta stay inside that top 50 no matter what. You can be getting elims every single game.
Jaxie looking to grab an elimination for this game right now. But having to break down a ton of builds going up against Deshawn. Ooh, and drops down right there. Definitely do not want to take fall damage in this moment. Jaxie, though, able to recover with Deshawn has the high ground. Jaxie in a rough position as he's using up practically all of his material just to get a single shot onto Deshawn. Deshawn making that as hard as he possibly can. Jaxie breaking down some of these final builds right here. But once again, Deshawn says, I will use up all of my mats if you will as well.
Ooh, I was about to take control of the mid pieces, and this one is crucial, but the movement, the plays, the baits in over from Deshawn. Looking too good. 99 points. Going over to 100. I think top 10 right now is like 153. So, I mean, a good end game with a lot of the top players going down first. Deshawn might make himself a little bit of a band after this one.
Elite Pump definitely making at least a band, but looking for those 5, of course. Band is $1,000, right?
A band is usually with like 4 members, like 1 bass, 1 drummer, 1 singer. Yeah. It's also $1,000 sometimes. Yeah, that's also true.
Sorry, just needed to recover right there. Just got 100 pumped in the face. All right, Pump. Speaking of Pump, in Storm, rotating over from Seaport. There's practically no one in the lobby. He's doing fine on mats, heals, all the stuff. I'm not doing fine. I've taken visceral damage.
1,000 damage, so to speak. Rotates from all these top players, just looking so good. Look at the positions, right? So Pump is coming in way away from all the other action. Inside zone, delayed, so he doesn't get into any trouble. He's there for the late game. Jargu in the middle of the map, containing the rest of the players around him, making sure that he's the early damage leader, and he has a track on any type of threat that could go towards him. He's also so high that if anyone wants to W key him in this moment, because a lot of people try to do that in game 6, you'll see it coming from a mile away and you can stop it before anything else happens. So 2 different ways of controlling the game. One is staying on the outskirts, staying next to the zone, like Cade you see here, like Pump we saw before, and then another is being like Jargu, straight up in the middle. I mean, obviously it depends on where your POI is, but again, some patterns in Fortnite never change when it comes to control.
Taking a look at our top 3 competitors there between Pump, Jargu, and Cade, all within fighting distance of that first place spot. Cade now just trying to get any kind of advantage they can, seeing that this tower actually doesn't have anyone near them, so they're going to be taking it for themselves.
Oh,
why not?
What? That's crazy. I mean, this is a pretty good spot as well, depending on where that zone comes in. I'm surprised that someone moved off of this, but I guess they did refarm all that brick. They can easily move over.
So peeking over to Rift Island right there, which is currently stuck in Storm, but probably aware that a few players are still over there and might be making their way over. And flying gives you an opportunity to just beam some of those players out of the air. But Cade, instead of looking at the air, is going to be looking towards the ground as that zone does finally close, but not too many players in the direction that he's looking. On the opposite side of things, over on Foxy Floodgate, we do have Ken currently boxed up right next to Fago, one of our stars of the PlayStation tournament this weekend. Or this weekend, it's not the weekend, it's a Wednesday.
It's this weekend somewhere in the world on some person's schedule. Yeah, there's some people that work like, you know, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the weekend's like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Disrespect. Oh, the big beams. Zany moving in. So close on both sides. Not going to really find much right now. And again, a lot of these W keyers, right? You want to make sure you get your elims in. Want to make sure you get so many points or any of the points you can at any time right now inside game number 6. Zany's trying to find a little bit, but not much. Just move that player off the body. He's able to refresh all his materials as well. Refresh the bat, be able to just move it out. Not only those shots were coming behind him for a second. Never mind.
It did, yeah.
So I'm not seeing things. Ooh, 143.
Cam does get slammed right there. Arsenic not going to be backing off after that shot, but Cam is going to be making an opportunity to heal himself just a little bit before Arsenic is going to be able to get a little bit closer. Not too many builds left. And Cam is a pretty good fighter. As I say that, he does get a shot onto Arsenic down to 46 HP, and he's in Storm, so that health is starting to tick away. A little bit of heals come out for Arsenic, but is it going to be enough to fight in the Storm, especially up against someone like Cam Slam, who's not going to be backing off. He's going to be entering these engagements, but it's not over just yet for Arsenic. Pops a mini real quick. Cam sees the heals and going on the aggressive once again, going for the edit down below. Does he get the shot? No, he misses. Arsenic now going for the shot himself. It's just back and forth. Cam Slam and Arsenic missing each other, but who will finally be able to get the final elimination on each other?
A chance from one side to the other. It's a ping pong game with no ball. Somehow it's still going back and forth. Arsenic hit from a mile away again. He's not really carrying Gordon. Okay, 1 HP. There goes the Storm, and it's Sidian that actually ends up getting. Or yeah, DR gets the heal in from like 100 meters away. You got to feel for that one.
That's why you gotta tower up and go for those tags. It could literally come down to an elimination. It might be just 20 damage for you, but that little bit of siphon can make or break a lot of these players. Zany still doing well, but still in the tunnels right now, looking to find their way out. And now Zone does shift a little bit to the eastern south side. Zany now making their way over there. Quick rotate over. Cade following through too. Currently in third place right now with 185 points. Trying to beat out Jargu and Pump for that first place spot.
I'm liking the brick refresh as well. Some extra brick available here if you want to make a few more boxes and then end up getting the rotate as well. Kate. Close for the moment. Sammy in the business as well. Oxy Floodgate. Now, if you go up that dam, is it going to be trouble for a lot of these players to be able to build through it or what?
Not through the dam, but the mountains on the other side of Foxy Floodgate can definitely be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
But the dam itself, unless a lot of these players are kind of like, you know, just kind of playing bully and stopping them, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for them to rotate through it.
Nice. I mean, the issue right now is not even the rotation, but just the damage. 1,000 miles to go, and Sammy definitely needs you and more right now. This is just tough. Like, what was that? 92 below, just a flash of it at 64 alive, and it'll probably go even worse after the fact. This is a very, very rough situation.
Yeah, just 2 splashes to Sammy's name right here. It's going to be rough if that Storm Surge does pop. Sammy not able to get any damage on the players rotating around him, so we know that definitely not in a prime position. Fago, Ken fighting each other. Sammy trying to get any kind of damage that he can, but it is Ken that gets the elimination onto Fago there. Sammy at full HP doesn't go for the third party. Bit of a potential missed opportunity there. Instead, they're kind of just paying attention to the edge of zone, hopefully getting a few tags on players. Can Ken be one of the players? And he does get just a little bit of damage, and with that launch pad right there, it's going to have an easy time rotating over into Crime City. But Crime City zone, it is going to be a little hectic.
Full of bandits, full of crime this time. We talked about not much happening over here, but I see loitering from the entire lobby. I see the aim of Elite Pump reigning true. I mean, that's why he's in first place right now, ladies and gentlemen. 67 damage above. Those 3 tags were needed right there. Tiger Winner kind of taking away Sammy as well from the backside. Rotation's not going to be possible. Sunny, never quitting. A pretty good spot inside Crime City, but I'm not sure how long this one's going to last.
Oh man, going over that Gold River too, where you get that little bit of speed boost, it is going to be an insane low ground. If I were any of these players seeing the zone pull, I would be trying to do anything I can to farm up some mats right now and try and hold high ground or second height right now, because I do not want to be in the low ground while all of this is happening and the zone is moving. Sir Kong paying attention to the moving zone right now, trying to take a shot onto Tiger. But who wins in the fight of Gorillas versus Tigers? Well, we're not going to find out, because Throlls is now going to be the focus of our attention. Alba on the other side of that wall right there, but Throlls not able to get too much. They are now 75 below Storm. They are going to have to be changing something up, potentially going on the aggressive for Alba right here just above them as the lightning does start to strike with only a little bit of splashes to their name. This is looking a little rough for Throlls.
Yeah, swinging, slashing, thrashing now at the side of this damage. 96 below. You cannot be this calm. It's time to run into the box. It's time to ditch the base. There's not enough There's no point in trying to take over all your heals as well. I'm going to be saying this, and maybe he ends up first place with this strategy, but that's a crazy one, man. We gotta plan for the future.
Zoe here has no future planned as they use the last bit of their heals there. They say, this is my future, it is the present. Rolls definitely going to have some presence right now with 131 damage below. They are going to have to do something. That splash is only going to do so much for them. And now they're on the move. A quick edit right there, trying to break into boxes, but no one's on the other side. Actually, as I say that, Ali is on the other side, but they missed the shot. Unfortunately, still trying to break down these builds, trying to get through the zone. Rolls still 177 below. Every time I look, it's getting higher and higher.
And now he's in a sight line that he can't really go aggressively on or past. This is tough for Throlls. Conrad falling down, 177 damage below. Again, Throlls a chance to get towards and closer towards that top 10. A chance to have a say in this game. The placement about to be in front of him, but I don't think he's going to be able to grab any of it so far. First Storm Surge hit will end up putting him down to no shields. That will alarm people around him that he is weak to any type of damage, any type of jumping towards the box. Soy Air 94 points, looking from the outside in, and I would say the top 20 at the moment, top 30 actually. Holy, so the entire lobby so far in game 6 has leveled up. 37 damage below once more. Dorito up in the business, but he's kind of getting crunched right now, not really making a bold move or staying cool in his ranch. That's that. Soy Air, okay, he gets absolutely grasped out of his home habitat and sent down to the dirt. Veditz, winner from one of the previous games, looking to get invaded inside the box, and his legacy will fall inside game 6 as well. 152 points. He can only see the sun, only see the sky, but as he's watching, his wings end up burning and he does not get to flap towards even more money inside the top 10. Faith gets some builds, gets some refreshes, is able to move out and is going straight towards the south side of the zone here. Wants to make sure that they have a really good comeback. I mean, Faith has been playing so well today. Has missed out on just a few end games, and as a result has dwindled away from that top 3 spot. A big shot here, 624 damage above, and now the mat's falling slightly down below. I think this is the fight Faith has to take. Back towards the wall. It's not yours. Faith is down.
I hate to see it. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for Faith. They were currently in 5th place before this game started, so hopefully still holding on to that spot as we do find Jargu currently in 2nd, 216 points, but he's going to have to get a lot more eliminations if he wants to beat out Pump. And if I'm not mistaken, we saw Pump alive, we saw Pump fine, so this is definitely the game for Pump to win. Jargu, though, he's got decent loadout, he's got okay heals, his mat's not too bad, so there's still plenty of opportunities for Jargu here to go on the aggressive, to get a few eliminations, and potentially take that first place spot away from Pump.
Ooh, this zone though. I mean, Jargu, Pump, whoever you are, gotta pray to someone. It's going up, I believe, a very snowy mountain. Could be wrong here, but that's what it's kind of pointed towards. And yeah, we start to kind of pull away from these train tracks. This entire engine, this entire train of a lobby is about to go high speed and towards the top. Hopefully it doesn't come crashing down after the fact. Lots of builds here for Big Face Mongrel. Jargu, a free run on low ground. How far can he pull this? 4 builds used, still free running as everyone else is confused as to what to do. He has made one of the freest rotations I've ever seen and is in a spot to take away the game nice and clean.
I love it. The early rotation into getting a favorable position into zone. He's not that far away from Storm Surge, so by putting himself into this position early, he might be able to get a few tags onto these players rotating around him. However, we have to look into our first place player, Elite Pump, with just 1 elimination, currently sitting in the mid ground right now. Not going to go too aggressive, not going to go for the high ground, because right now, Pump just needs to stay alive. He doesn't need eliminations. He doesn't need to make any crazy play. He just needs to stick into the game, make it into the final 10, make it into the final players so that he can collect those placement points. Big Phase Mongrel also looking to collect some placement points over the 200 benchmark that we're looking for our top competitors right now. 1 elimination to his name as well, and a decent loadout, gets a shot, but not going to be converting it into an elimination right there. Right now, he's just watching the lobby. He's trying to see if anyone wants to try and jump onto his box, and instead he's going to be jumping onto other players' boxes, going for the rotation, but unfortunately makes a misplay there. Does finally get the dash onto Sub-Zero, but that's okay, Big Face Mongrel. If you're going to make a mistake, you might as well recover from it.
Yeah, heals up. Jargu up in 2nd place. We have to watch Pump right now. We have to see exactly where Pump is in this moment. If Pump is alive and he's thriving, he is winning this tournament if he makes that top 20. Looking for Pump right now. Jargu might just end up going down too. He's trying to surpass him, but Pump needs to stop getting points. I'm looking over on the map, seeing if I can see his name. Doku going down. Mongrel still fighting to maybe take that second place spot away as well. This might just be Pump's tournament now if he's inside that top 20. Mongrel 215, still moving forward. Not much to see for the moment right now. Keeps it calm again. Good movement from Mongrel. It's going to be nice here for the moment. Med getting back up, is able to move around. There is Pump, 277 points on high ground. Jargu is up in the business as well. Takes one, gets the refresh, falls down. Nothing left for him. No more builds. Cozy looking uncomfortable. Right below him underneath the floorboards. He gets asked to go to the basement, and he's not scared of the dark. Turn the furnace on. Do whatever you want. No lights. He's not scared. There's no fright. Jargu is there. 241 points. Catching up to the big leader. He has to climb up. Elam by Elam. 221 up to 222 for Big Phrase Mongrel. He's making it work as well.
Oh, so many big names right now at the end of our final game of the PlayStation Cup. Everyone doing whatever they can, trying to get all these eliminations, just trying to control the lobby. Yasir on the front of zone with a little bit of a graphical delay, but or issue, but it kind of looks really cool. There's so much that can happen. Jargu 243 points now. It does get a shot onto Backtalk, but not able to get the elimination. Can he get the elimination here? But instead, quickly looking at Big Phase Mongrel staying to the front of zone right now. Only 23 names to his build. Not too much in the way of heals, but so much is happening around him. Backtalk getting an elimination onto Rixor. We don't know where Pump is just yet. I'm guessing he's probably still sticking to the front side of zone. Yasir is still on height right now.
Still on height. It's all on Mongrel right now. He can make the biggest difference in winning this one. Here are the last final 5 players. Mongrel, the biggest one in terms of stakes, can take over what looks to be that second place spot. Needs maybe just the victory royale. Needs the 20 points. It's chaos down below. He gets smacked into the zone. It's crazy from Osmond. It's 2 in front of him. It's a home run all the way out of the park. Yasir, the last person left, down in the dumps, in the dirt, in the ditches, has the HP. No more builds. What a crazy end of this one. Zaire maybe going for the final play. Sees an angle across the way. Yasir with the shots to take it home. What does it mean for him? Not even sure, but what a win in that game 6 inside the PlayStation Fortnite Cup Finals. I mean, explosive, electric game there, Kelly.
That, what's funny is that we were talking about mountain zones. How is it going to end? I was saying that is not the way that these players want things to end, and that's exactly what we got from game 6. But those are the games, those are the zones that separate the top from the bottom. That is why those top competitors that we've seen throughout the last 6 games were the remaining players that we had there. We did see Pump go down semi-early, still top 10, but I'm guessing that was not enough for Jargu or Cade or King Cringe to be able to steal that first place spot. But we do have to wait. We're getting our points tabulated right now, Shayo. But what an exciting 6 games of Fortnite that was.
Yeah, that's the props I want to give here, right? Regardless of the winner, I mean, shout outs to Pump if it is the case. The highlights not only from this game, but the whole day. And shout outs to PlayStation as well, who's once again doing this multiple times in the year. You like that lobby? You complain about your scrims and whatnot. You complain that outside of FNCS, there's not enough action. I'm putting my stamp of approval on this. Badoom! My stamp of approval on this type of tournament. That wasn't nuts to watch. That was akin to watching, like, Coop run through stuff in season 2 in solos and duos. That was akin to watching some of the best players play their game in stages like the World Cup in New York. The level of gameplay there was really nice, man. If you look at the history of solos, this is one of the better competitions we've had. You could not even tell that these guys were playing just on console in general. Like, this was a very, very competitive tournament in my opinion, and some of the moments that we had overall were just so much fun to watch. Consistent players the whole way through too. Big shout outs for everyone who organized this, but also just shout outs to the players, Yasir, a lot of these winners for keeping it competitive and having a really good tournament here today.
No, that's exactly what I want to see. And a lot of these names that we did see are the names that we do see in these weekly tournaments, whether that is the Div Cup finals or the performance evaluation finals. So I love to see these names sticking out for every single tournament. That's how you get the best practice. That's how you climb up the leaderboard of all the pros in Fortnite, is by competing and entering. And you guys, if you're watching right now, you can enter as well. Just make sure to follow PlayStation online. Make sure to follow Fortnite Competitive on social media to find out when these next next tournaments are going to be happening. But for the match results, King Zaire with 7 eliminations in first place. Backtalk, though, we saw him holding out as long as he could. Those 8 eliminations now in second place. And that just shows how important those eliminations can be, Shio. Our winner of the game, Yasir, sitting in third.
Yeah, honestly, that's the big difference maker, especially if you're living all the way towards the end of the game. Big games from a lot of these players who might have had a rough day overall, but you know, that's experience. That's amazing stuff on all sides. And again, you look at some of the storylines overall, you know, we got Elite Pump, Jargu, Mongrel, all who were towards the top 3. I need to know overall though what things are looking like and what the winner looks like here today too. We got to check it out for PlayStation, Fortnite, and the Cup as well. The top 10, it's Elite Pump in first place, a total of 281 points, a 30-point lead up against Jargu. Big face Mongrel there as well. Started the day strong, ended it in the top 3 as well. Yasir with that game, Kelly. Yasir, 4th place. What a game 6 for him.
That is crazy. I'm trying to see where they were before that game, but they must have skyrocketed up the leaderboard. That just shows how one game can completely change the results of these tournaments. And you know that these players were doing anything they can in that final game to climb up the leaderboard, especially in this top 10 right here, because that's where the big money is earned. Another shout out once again to Elite Pump, walking away with $5,000. As you can see though, everyone that competed here today, everyone that made their way through the qualifiers, is walking away with at least $300 out of that $62,000 prize pool.
I mean, that's just nuts. You know, thank you for everyone just for playing in general as well. Overall, shout outs to PlayStation, the production staff behind the teams too. This has just been such a fun spot overall, looking at, you know, how we've been playing so far, the players on all sides as well. It's so much fun. If you guys are interested in more of these tournaments as well, you can go on to compete.playstation.com. It's not just Fortnite, it's a bunch of titles. And again, more of these will run all throughout the day. That's just it for this one though. A very good debut, a very good fun time in the finals. Kelly, what are your thoughts overall?
I loved it. It was so exciting. It was so fun. Shio, I hope that we get another opportunity like this again. You are the first person that I ever got to work on Fortnite with, all the way back with Bala many years ago. So it's really nice to be able to come back once again and work with you.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure working with you as well. A full circle for us today and the start of the circle for some of the people through these PlayStation tournaments. Stay tuned. Stay online. We'll see you guys soon. Good night for now.
PlayStation. PlayStation.
I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stay. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stay. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling lonely, so I hope she stay. I'm confident when I'm drinking rain. I hope you get a taste. I'm feeling